Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Don Thomas Stadium, Exeter Township, Pennsylvania. This is Reading Raptors football presented by the Flagship Network and B&B Media. Today, the Raptors play their home opener against the visiting Wilmington Wolfpack. Welcome to our broadcast, everyone. Max Kratzula, Bruce Badgley, Joe Mays on the call with you this afternoon. And we're obviously excited here. It's a big one today for the Raptors. They come home to Don Thomas Stadium, try to get their first win on their home turf, but they'll have to do it against an undefeated opponent.
Yeah, an undefeated opponent, Wilmington Wolfpack there, with some big-time players that we're going to hear more about here in the Open, but I think you're going to be impressed with the athleticism for both teams today.
Without question. Let's start with the running back position, and we touched on it, obviously, off camera as well, how important that'll be moving forward here. And, Joe, I'll leave that up to you and let you roll with it.
Alexander Gooden is the guy for the Raptors. Not a lot of carries through 3 games, just 14 for 82 yards, but he's gotten to the end zone 3 times so far and paid dividends for Reading in their first 2 games of the seasons, both where they came out on top victorious. He has been the guy, and I expect to see a heavy dose of him today as well.
Well, let's talk about the quarterback matchup today as far as what the Raptors are going to put out there. Charlie Maddox and Tanner White, 2 guys that are still battling it out for the rights to the starting job, Bruce, and they'll have another opportunity to compete for that today.
Yeah, and I think, it's going to come down, with Coach Mo for the Raptors, who's going to have the hot hand. I think he's trying to get somebody to emerge. I think that's an underlying storyline here today.
Well, Jeff Campbell, we saw him off screen, obviously, on the field. Big body, big arm. Obviously, his decision-making the last few weeks hasn't been great. But, again, you saw him on the field down there. I didn't get to have a chance to get down on the field. You did. What'd you see?
He's a big one. I mean, big, tall. He's not going to be very mobile, but he's going to stand in the pocket, and he's going to survey the field. Now, he had a little trouble with some interceptions last week, as we're seeing here. Now, the Wolfpack still came out on top. But that's something that, turnovers are going to be, I think, the determining factor today, as it is with just about every football game.
You see a couple of those throws, Joe. One, maybe a 50-50 ball. Another, a couple of decisive looks that just got picked off.
Yeah, and defense has been the key to the NEAFL season so far. Reading has been lighting it up on defense, not giving up a lot of points, and being led by Daxon Washington, who has 5 sacks in 3 games, including one 2 weeks ago in Reading's last victory, where he sealed the game on the last drive, coming up with a pair of sacks.
Yeah, and interceptions play a big part, too, with all that pressure. And looks like we're getting ready for the kickoff there, Joe, and we've got some great sponsors.
Yes, today's game is presented by Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Brewery.
And we will rifle through the rest of those as the ball is on the turf to start. And I think the Wolfpack got on top of it. But, hey, that's fast-paced action early on the kickoff. And, we talked about it there in the Open, the turnovers, and it could have been a dangerous one right there to start.
Yeah, just a little pooch kick there. And, the one thing, I think special teams is obviously going to play an important factor there. And Mitch Aponik, the kicker for the Raptors, really looked good in warm-ups. They're a really good execution of kind of a pooch kick there. Going to set the Wolfpack up, though, at about the 17-yard line.
So, good start for the Raptors. Let's see what the Wolfpack can do on their opening possession of the game. Deep in their own territory. Motion to the near side, and it's a handoff to the opposite. And not too much going on the first play of the game. Good defense there by the Raptors.
No, the host of Raptors actually threw him for a loss. That's going to be -2 yards on the Wilmington ball carrier.
Yeah, and I think with any game, which team's going to be able to impose their will on their opponent, but which team's going to be able to establish the running game? Each team has had trouble with that, but they've still come out on top in most of their games.
Well, you have 2 running backs that'll share the load today. Rashawn Terrell, number 25, and Jaquay Bishop, number 26. So if you're watching there at home, at least they have similar numbers. You can kind of pick them out there. Hey, how about that, Bruce? Second and long. Campbell back to pass. Relatively clean pocket, and he completes a pass to the far sideline. It's about the 28-yard line.
I think he dropped it, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it was right in his hands there, and fortunately the receiver unable to come up with it. You know, that's going to be a key factor here. Now, third and long, let's see if Dax and Washington can kind of tee off here.
Yeah, we'll see if the Raptors show blitz on third down and long. Pretty solid throw there from Campbell, though. You got to like to see that. The arm accuracy and the obviously the power there as well.
Daxon Washington's wearing number 88, playing left defensive end for the Raptors. He's the guy to keep an eye on here on this third and long situation.
Relatively similar formation to open the game so far for the Wolfpack.
And looks like we got a delay. It looked like, the back judge threw his flag, so delay a game, backing them up even further. And it looks like the Raptors are kind of playing a zone, trying to keep everything in front of them here.
Delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Nice that we got the official mic out there. No guesswork.
That's all Brandon behind the scenes able to run down there pregame and give the viewers an opportunity to hear and listen in on what the referees are discussing on the field.
Yeah, B&B Media just doing a great job with the production here today.
So back to Wolfpack up 5 more yards. It's third down and farther. Campbell back to pass. He's pressured. Washington unable to come up with the sack, but they force an incomplete pass to the near sideline.
You know, that's got to be close to a safety there, Joe. There wasn't a receiver. I guess there was a defender out there, but no flag there. That could have been a safety. He threw it from the end zone, just trying to get rid of it.
The first person to make contact was Nori Falby, and Daxon Washington as well as John Capobianco all in putting pressure on Campbell, who did throw it away. I think they said there was a receiver close enough to avoid the safety on the grounding call, but now we're going to see Wilmington have to punt.
Well, special teams. I mean, sometimes these are some real adventures out there.
Never good when your punter is in his own end zone, and that's what we have right here. So Armstrong back to return. Yeah. It takes a Raptors bounce and dies around the Wolfpack 40-yard line. So excellent field position for the Raptors to start their first possession of the game.
Yeah, and again, field position, but that good pressure on Jeff Campbell on those long down and distances there set the Raptors up on this opening possession, Joe.
So Tanner White will start this game at the quarterback position for the Raptors. He wears number 9. And we talked about the carousel back and forth between himself and Charlie Maddox throughout the season. So White will get the first crack at it here early on in the first quarter.
Set up in the eye, probably a run.
First snap goes to Gooden, and he's upended in his own backfield. So just like what we saw on the Wolfpack's first play of the game, a loss of 2, the Raptors trade them and lose 2 on their first snap.
Looked like that was Charles Donovan, just shot the gap there.
I believe actually Gooden they had in at fullback on that play. The handoff actually went to Isaiah Shockley.
Those are 2 guys who are going to rotate throughout the game.
Those are the 2 big running backs for the Raptors, and they have been the offense that Reading's been able to put together the first 3 weeks has come from those 2 guys.
So Gooden will check out now. He's off on the sideline, number 22. Shockley to the right of White. White back to pass, clean pocket, fires, incomplete over the middle. And that'll bring up third down. Marquise Pyers was his intended target.
I mean, I like the play call. I think in any situation like this, you want to try some just short passes to get the confidence in the quarterback there. That one, a little misfire, but, boy, 3rd and long, don't really like that at all. It's like we've got 4 wides.
Gooden still on the sideline. Shockley in the backfield. White takes the snap. Another clean pocket, but he's flushed this time to his left.
Oh, it's a fumble.
It's a fumble. Raptors able to pick it up, trying to make as much as they possibly can. And ultimately, I believe, lose about 2 or 3 yards on the play. So both teams sloppy offensively to start, and we have a late push after the play.
Oh, my. Already it's getting chippy. I don't see a flag, though.
No flag.
Letting him play. Yeah, in the end, all of that for nothing. The Raptors are facing 4th and 10. We'll go 3 and out. We'll get our first punt by Mitchell Aponic.
Good thing for Shockley to be there, right place, right time, and at least pick it up and avoid the turnover.
It looked momentarily like he was going to have the biggest play of the game so far on a strip sack fumble.
I thought he was going to throw the football. It looked like he was looking for a receiver. I don't know if that would have been legal.
Well,
oh, that's a great kick by Aponic.
that ball trickled out of bounds around the 15-yard line. Couldn't agree more there, Bruce. And we have a flag down at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's right at the line of scrimmage. Looked like it was thrown by the... They may have hit the snapper, which I think is illegal. I don't think that you can smash into the
Correct.
snapper.
Well, we'll see if the Raptors can buy themselves a free set of downs or at least take the 5-yard penalty. And
Oh, I think it would be a personal foul. That might give him a first down.
Coach Mo wandering out almost to midfield here.
The whole team is out there trying to figure out what's going on.
all the referees minus 1 are in discussion.
Let's hear what the ref has to say.
Illegal man downfield,
Oh.
5-yard penalty on the offense.
Well, so wipe away the punt there, Bruce.
Well, maybe Apana can get another nice kickoff. That one went out of bounds at the 15-yard line.
Yeah.
So it's, we were kind of groping with the exact rules here in the NEAFL, but that obviously they're playing the NFL rules where really only the ends can go down until the ball is kicked. So it looks like an interior lineman left too
early.
soon. Yeah.
So the ball's marked at the 46-yard line of the Wolfpack, and the Raptors will punt it away again.
Boy, I tell you, the scarlet on gray, that's just hard for me to read. I can see the Raptors fine, but that scarlet on gray, I'm just, these old eyes, man, just having trouble.
Clean snap, clean punt. It's a good one.
Oh, man.
Wow,
Even
he was
better than the
under
last
And
one.
it's even better than the last one. How about that? The ball trickled out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
And Aponic was under duress, comes up big, field position, especially, in this type of game where, the teams really don't have a lot of time to practice and what have you. These types of situations deep in your own end can really help out.
Yeah, the defense for both sides obviously so far showing the advantage, and it's not a surprise. You mentioned it, the practice time limited. But you have to like what you see right now if you're a Raptors fan. The Wolfpack backed up on their own 5-yard line.
Yeah, they say don't take points off the board. Maybe for Aponic's kick, you don't let him kick it again. He'll just do even better the next time.
Right, exactly.
What a fantastic kick by him.
Yeah, that was. And under duress, too. I mean, he almost there were guys coming right after him. So another thing just to keep, cognizant of as the game goes on is these special teams plays for both teams.
Campbell under center. Motion high side. And it's a handoff on the first down. And
Nothing going on
nothing going on there. Maybe lost a yard.
Yeah, I mean, Reading with the run blitz crashing down the linebacker there. I think that was Dave Burgess really crashing down on that time.
So 2 rushing attempts so far for the Wolfpack. Both have gone for negative yardage.
And see, that's where the Reading uniforms are a little bit tough. I can't tell the difference between 5 and 8.
Well, Bruce,
it's
you
going
and
to
me
all
both.
merge. Yeah, that was actually Yogi Wilkerson that crashed down from linebacker on that last play.
Campbell directing things well and in the pocket right now in the shotgun.
Sideline feed. It's caught.
That's Ben Melville on the reception. And is that the first positive yardage gained by the offense so far today, either team?
Indeed.
And a good call. I mean, again, just a quick out, just trying to get some positive yardage back deep in your own end. Now, 2nd and short.
Truesdale.
Which actually should be 3rd down, shouldn't it?
Yeah, they're
There we
flipping
go.
again.
Okay.
Truesdale knocked Melville out of bounds. And you mentioned it, Bruce, 3rd down. Campbell back to pass yet again. There's pressure from the edge. And
he
it's
dropped
in
it.
and out of the hands of his intended target.
Again, right on the money, and the receiver couldn't hold on to it. So 4th down, are they going to go for it deep in their own end? Oh, my.
I believe that was Jared Hines.
Looks like some indecision, but they are going to punt.
Probably a smart decision, I'd say. Don't want to give your opponent an opportunity. Obviously, what we saw offensively for the Raptors, not great on their first possession, but punting again, almost on the goal line. First punt came from their own end zone. So we'll see if the Raptors can take advantage of some plus field position yet again.
Yeah, going for it this deep in your own end, this early in the game, in a league that has been struggling to put points up on the board, probably not a sound decision. So probably the proper call here by Wilmington to punt on 4th and short here.
And a delay.
Well, Max, you said they punt from their end zone the last time. I'm thinking they're going to be punting from their end zone again this time.
That was illegal substitution, actually. Official didn't turn on his microphone.
Keon Davis is the punter for the Wolfpack. And indeed, he will now be punting for the 2nd time today from his own end zone.
But this snap's so very important.
Pretty decent punt. Goes through the hands of the return man. I believe that's Junior Default.
Yes, it was. And I'll tell you what,
I think
he just happened to look up. He was looking for the defender coming at him, and he muffed it.
Number 19, is that Joe?
I believe so. I believe it was Kareef
Hankin.
Well, Bruce, if you're having struggling, I said at your age, and what does that tell you about me? Nothing good.
Well, next time usually I'm good in daylight. Now, if this was a night game, well, the binoculars are out with me, but it is a little bit, cloudy. Not a lot of bright sun here, so
That's true. White will hand off.
that's good. And there he
Gooden
is.
a force to be reckoned with as he works his way across the 40-yard line. Brought down at I believe the 36. And a solid pickup on 1st down for the star running back. And when I say star, I mean this guy in Gooden, he's been solid all season long at the tailback position. That's one of the main reasons why we highlighted him in the open.
Yeah, he leads the Raptors with 14 attempts, 82 yards, and 3 touchdowns on the season. He's been the lone bright spot on the offense so far as they try to find what works and what doesn't. But Gooden has been working, and he is apt to break off some big plays. A few of his touchdowns have been for over 20 yards this season.
Well, didn't get too many carries or attempts in the first possession. Gets fed on the first play here on the second possession of the game. It'll be another handoff this time. Not Gooden, however, going the distance and brought down at the 2-yard line.
Shockley.
Another solid run, and I'll tell you what, Shockley's been putting together a solid performance this season as well.
Oh, shout out to that Raptors offensive line. The last 2 plays, they've opened up some gaping holes in that Wolfpack defense, and now a timeout by the Wolfpack.
Probably a good one, and I tell you what, from a season ago, Bruce, when we were here, only 3 linemen. You got your center and 2 tackles. Obviously 11 on 11 this season, so much different. And we obviously have some returning players, some new guys, and it's very much similar to the college and pro standpoint. We talk about the NFL and the NCAA. I mean, you definitely have a different vibe when you're going not a full sideline to sideline. We'll take a break, step aside. Be right back after this.
What? What's that?
Full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
Ball officially marked at the 3-yard line. And Raptors desperately trying to punch this one in. 2 handoffs, 2 positive games, one from Gooden, one from Shockley on this drive. And White, again, out there at the quarterback position. And I tell you what, if he puts up points here on this drive, should probably see him consistently out there until mistakes are made. So far, so good. Gooden gets the carry, and he's brought down almost immediately in the backfield. No gain on the play. We'll bring up 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, just crashing down.
Both ends on that time, really.
Yeah, they met at the running back there in the backfield.
Well, Wilmington, I'm sure, knows what's coming when you've got Gooden and Shockley back there, and that's what Reading's bread and butter has been through the first 3 games of the season. They're going to sell out hard. It's going to come up to maybe a nice play call by the Raptors or what quarterback Tanner can do.
Misdirection, I think, is such an important part of the play calls here, too. I mean, everybody's kind of selling out on the obvious, so
Well,
little misdirection. Let's see what happens.
Indeed. Shockley to the left, Gooden to the right. And
I think that's on the defense.
well, somebody jumped.
Looks like it's going to be encroachment.
Well, you definitely saw White maybe shake his head and maybe fidget with his hands there. And, again, they're trying to crack down on that at the pro level where you took the 5-yard penalty on the defense.
Half the distance to the goal.
Well, that's not going to move too much there.
No.
Gives them another shot.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious things that you can do here with hard count, with misdirection, are going to be really effective.
Shockley, the tailback. White will keep it himself.
Tush push, baby.
Barge his way through, and it is a
touchdown.
Ooh, my, what
Shoving
the?
going on after the play. Shockley got pushed. There's a flag. There's another one, and some pushing and shoving going on. Gooden took his helmet off. I don't think you're allowed to do that.
We are really in for an afternoon if we're getting into the free-for-alls in the first quarter.
Yeah, without a doubt. Wow.
But a great drive by Reading there. I mean, moving the ball on the ground, which we all felt coming in that they were going to have to run the ball effectively to win this game, not only from a perspective of scoring points, but to keep the ball away from the Wilmington offense. And just a great drive there. Offensive line doing a fantastic job.
I have to give a quick shout out to Ian Cooper as well, the offensive coordinator. He was up here last year with us in the broadcast booth and took over the reins as the OC this season. And I tell you what, I wasn't really expecting a QB sneak there. Obviously an undersized quarterback, but it worked to perfection.
Yep. Tanner White finds pay dirt. Reading leads 6-0 pending the PAT. But that last Reading drive punctuated by the big 34-yard rush by number 32, Shockley.
Well, Anthony Moore, number 61, jogging out onto the field now.
Well, this is going to be a heck of an extra point.
Not somebody you want to mess with there, number 61, Anthony Moore. It's a big dude.
Yeah, with I guess the personal foul penalty, Aponic's going to kick from the 25, so this is a 35-yard extra point.
Oh, that's not fun.
Definitely got the leg for it.
Kicks up. And
he
got it.
So Aponic is showing off his leg early, a beautiful punt, then an even better punt on the retry, and now a long PAT.
Raptors strike first, 7-0 your score. We'll step aside and be right back after this. Out of a timeout, 7-0 your score. Raptors able to punch in a QB sneak at the hands of Tanner White. And the extra point, even though it was a long one, it was good. So that's where we are now. Obviously, first two possessions for each team. A little shaky, but the home team is on the board. And the Wolfpack will get possession of the football back. Obviously, you mentioned it, Bruce, before the break. Some pushing and shoving. That'll be a storyline that we look forward to. At least the fans would. I don't know about the coaches or players out there, but as the game continues, definitely have to keep an eye on that.
Well, they've just got to be cognizant that they've got to maintain, their composure out there, just for nothing more than, field position. I mean, you don't want to, penalize your own team just because you get a little bit out of hand here, but.
Set for the kickoff here in the first quarter. 6:13 to play on that note. Another solid kick. And it'll be returned at the 11-yard line. And it's a pretty healthy return. Across the 40.
Oh, still on his feet.
Still on his feet. Got to give him some credit. I believe is that 26?
I believe it was. Yes.
I want to give him credit. I can't. Yeah, right. Before I say a name, Bishop on the return.
Yeah, what was number 26 there? I mean, I thought he had an opportunity to break that one. Let's give the special teams unit of the Raptors some credit there. They had him wrapped up. He broke some tackles and took about 3 guys to get him down.
Well, Jaquai Bishop was the man on return, and he is the tailback out there as well on this first play of the drive. We'll see if the Wolfpack can do it, if they can answer. And there's your man, Bishop.
Samir Samuels is the Wilmington offensive coordinator. Let's see if he can get Campbell some easy throws, easy completions, and get the Wolfpack on the offensive.
Well, so far he's done that, I feel like, a couple of times, just the receivers unable to complete the catches.
Under center in the eye.
Good old-fashioned football. How about that?
Well, Bishop will get the carry, and it's a little bit of a miscommunication. Ball's on the turf, and I think Campbell was able to fall back on it.
Pretty basic stuff there. The running back just didn't look the ball into his hands, And Campbell,
Well,
but
Bishop-
that's about as fast as he can
Yeah, indeed,
move to get
right?
that ball.
And Bishop is now off the field on this play.
You don't see that. You just don't see
Sure.
that in football anymore, that eye with the quarterback handing it off to the back deep in the eye.
Sometimes you take that for granted, and it is true. I think we all do it. So you have Marquise Edwards now to the left of Campbell. He'll be the tailback in the backfield. Second down. I think it was a good play call, though, to get the ball, or at least try to get the ball back in the hands of Bishop. I tell you what, the Wolfpack really do like taking their time here, and that's one of the main reasons why they have 2 delayed game penalties, and they're taking their good old time here as well. Campbell takes the snap. It's back to pass, and it's deflected at the line of scrimmage. Pass falls incomplete. Bring up third down.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure who got their hands on it there, but
I think it's David Burgess in there.
Wow.
Got his hand up in there.
Just-
Or was it 8 or 88?
well, 88 would have
88
been.
is Daxon Washington.
Yeah, I don't think that
think it
was
was
Washington.
No, I think he
either.
came off the right side. I believe you're right. I believe it was Burgess.
So third and about, looks like
18.
17, 18.
3:42 to play in the first quarter.
Boy, as long as Wilmington's in these just bad down the distance there, that Reading defensive line just ready to tee off here.
Edwards to the right of Campbell. Campbell back to pass. Pump fake, and he'll fire deep down the near or far sideline, and the pass goes incomplete. There is no flag on the play.
It
The
was
Wolfpack are barking at the referee.
it was very far overthrown. I'm not sure he was getting to that.
But still, there was quite a collision on the sideline, and I'm not entirely sure even that the receiver was even in bounds when the collision occurred. So maybe wise a no call there by the official.
unbelievable.
Could have been illegal touching if he was the first to touch the ball after going out of bounds. Well, setting up another punt for Wilmington. I'm not sure you could ask for a much better start from the Reading defense. They have come to play and have not given up positive yardage yet.
Well, Wilmington is kind of self-destructed with the drop passes and the fumbles there, not giving himself an opportunity. So it looks like 80 DeMarco Armstrong is back deep for Reading.
Not a great punt. Barely trickles over midfield, but it does take a Wolfpack bounce and finally dies around the 29-yard line. So overall, solid punt from a result standpoint, but
Yeah, the desired effect. Now let's see if Reading has had some fairly good field position this entire game. I mean, we practically played the entire first quarter. We're down to 3:23 in quarter number 1 in the Wilmington end. So now let's see what the Raptors can do here with the ball, with the drive starting. Looks like at about their 29-yard line, Joe.
oh, Tanner White's still in there at quarterback, and Shockley and Gooden both on the field as well as we open up this next drive offensively for the Raptors.
It's the first drive for Reading that's starting in their own end of the field.
Shockley gets the carry, tries to work his way up the gut. Not much happening on that play.
Maybe a yard.
Yeah, number 6 on the tackle there.
Goggins. 2-yard pickup overall. Bring up a second down and 8.
Not a whole lot of wind out there. Shouldn't be any problem for Reading if they want to put the ball in the air.
Yeah, no doubt.
Split backfield still with Gooden and Shockley.
White back to pass this time. He has some protection. He goes to the near sideline, and the ball goes incomplete. He was looking for Chris Robertson, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well defended there. Almost had to throw it a little back shoulder there to try and throw the receiver open. Good defense there by the Wolfpack.
3rd down and 8, ball marked at the 30-yard line of the Raptors.
You know, like to see in this particular case, maybe some short slants across the middle, trying a little yak.
Last thing you need right now is a turnover, so I can't really agree with you more there, Bruce. Something easy. White takes the snap, back to pass yet again, has protection. He'll throw one down into the flat to Shockley, and there's not much going on that play either. And he's brought down after a pickup of about 4. It'll be 4th down and 4.
But again, I mean, just as we touched on, a high percentage throw, and boy, that defense though read it well. I mean, a lot of gang tackling out there. Really no chance for the 1st down.
So the Raptors will punt this one away.
Special teams, special teams, special teams. Let's see how the blocking holds up. Last punt, Aponic really was pressured.
Marquise Fells back to return for the Wolfpack. And the Wolfpack on that note call timeout. So we will as well. We'll step aside. 1:45 to play in the 1st quarter. Fells able to have a clean catch going laterally to the opposite sideline, and there's a flag at the end of the play. I will say this, not too much room to work with there. Good coverage there by the Raptors.
Yeah, number 14, Marcus Pyers, a savvy vet there. Great play on special teams on the punt. We'll see what the penalty is, though.
Yeah, considering all the offensive issues really by both teams here, special teams, and I touched on it early on, but it's going to play a big part of this game.
I think the penalty is going to go against the Raptors. Saw Coach
in the back, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty.
Don't listen to me.
No, you're right, Max. I saw the same thing. Coach Mo seemed a little upset about something.
Yes.
But it was not the penalty that goes against Wilmington. A block in the back will set up the Wolfpack even farther, deeper into their own territory again.
He was in discussion there with Pyers, so I figured since Pyers was in on the stop there, maybe
face mask or something.
Yeah, you never know. So it got a little handsy. But nevertheless, good thing for the Raptors. The ball will be backed up even further in the Wolfpack territory, where they will start their next possession at the 25-yard line. So let's see if the defense can keep up the pace here. And you have Pyers now in discussion with Coach Mo and offensive coordinator Ian Cooper, as well as quarterback Tanner White on the near sideline. So we'll see. Pyers hasn't really gotten going offensively. He's one of the starting wide receivers for the Raptors. But
speaking about not getting anything going offensively, I mean, Wilmington has just gotten – they have to be negative yards.
Yeah,
Joe.
not great.
Campbell started 1 for 6.
Bishop gets the carry, and there's not much going on that play either. I'll tell you what, Raptors, if anything, are winning the line of scrimmage, to say the least, so far in this one.
Yeah, they sure are. And that's where I think just, you get into situations like this when you're a coach. I mean, a little misdirection can go a long way in opening up holes because these guys are just looking at what's right in front of them.
Really on both sides of the ball in the trenches, too.
Absolutely. I mean, a little misdirection, I think, will go a long way to help out this Wilmington offense.
Wilmington is at -1 net offensive yards.
Well, that's not great, to say the least. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. Campbell under center. Bishop in the backfield. Raptors showing a little pressure. And Campbell has a clean pocket, throws one into the flat, and bumped out of bounds is Hines on the near sideline. So, again, Bruce, you talked about it earlier on with the Raptors trying to get the ball out quickly. That's exactly what Campbell does right there, and he's got a completion for a positive gain.
Yeah, you got to try and get something there, and it's going to be, looks like it's going to be about 3rd down and about 4. That really opens up the playbook. Maybe 3rd and 5.
Pretty solid out route there from Hines as well.
And the defender had the coverage and then undercut it on a tackle attempt, allowing Hines to get upfield, get 5 yards, and positive net yardage for Wilmington here nearing the end of the first quarter.
Hines able to get out of bounds, so it stops the clock with 36 seconds to go.
Looks like he's changing the play.
Burgess directing traffic defensively, too. And here he comes on a blitz right up the gut. It's picked up, and the ball's fired over the middle.
There it is.
And that's Williams on the reception.
There's that arm, and, that was a great audible there, seeing that he had single one-on-one coverage there on the outside, and a good route and a great pass.
So clock stops to move the chains. And the ball's marked at the 49-yard line of the Raptors.
23.8 seconds left in the quarter.
And now the clock begins to wind. Campbell taking a long time here to hike the football. Now 13 seconds. Campbell, another clean pocket. Fires, and that's complete. Down around the 25-yard line goes Melville.
Yeah, Melville, I'll tell you what, each time that Campbell is seeing that he's got that one-on-one with his outside guys, they're running basically just that post, and they've been beating the defender each time.
So the clock stops with 5 seconds to go until the expiration of the game clock here in the first quarter. And now the clock winds. 2, now 1, and they're not going to get another playoff. So that'll stop us at the end of the first quarter. And when we come back, it'll be the Wolfpack now threatening offensively. Back-to-back deep completions for Campbell.
Get a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
What's going on, everybody? It's Marcus Pyers, wide receiver tight end for the Reading Raptors. We're here today at the Philly Pretzel Factory with Amy. Amy's the owner and operator of the Philly Pretzel Factory here in Muhlenberg. Today we're doing a promotional style event, trying to get people to come buy some pretzels as well as get some game day tickets. And maybe Amy can kind of, explain to us what she means by that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are super excited to be partnering with the Reading Raptors this season to support the team and also support our fans by making it available, or making an opportunity available for you to earn some free tickets. And come to the games because you have a chance to win my shirt here. We will be throwing them into the field at every home game, and this could be yours.
So,
got to give a quick shout out there to Marcus Pyers going to the Philly Pretzel Factory. Looked like he had a pretty good time there, as would I if I was in his shoes.
Yes, the Philly Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, supporter of Reading Raptors football. Marcus Pyers, savvy veteran of minor league football. We just saw him make a play on the last punt.
So both teams flip sides of the field, and Campbell hands off to Bishop. And again, the Raptors are ready for it. The defensive line is winning, to say the least. And we have some pushing and shoving after the play. What do you got, Joe?
Raptors number 5, Yogi Wilkerson, was the first one in the backfield to make contact with the Wilmington ball carrier, but a whole host of Raptors were there to stymie him at the line.
Ball marked at the 26-yard line. Honestly, looked like Campbell had an opportunity to throw that football. Instead, he kept it, and Bishop had nowhere to go.
Yeah, that misdirection, on the play call there, I think both teams are going to start kind of mixing it up a little bit.
I mean, you have 2 plays in a row where you have deep completions, and then you hand one off I don't know. Maybe I'm no guru, I'll say that. Campbell back to pass. He'll let that cannon work again this time as he directs traffic, fires, and that's complete. Brought down around the 11-yard line goes Williams. So Williams now with 2 receptions in this ball game, and both of them have come on this drive.
And you're really seeing Jeff Campbell's arm there on this drive. I'll tell you what, he's fired some real rockets to his receiver, and they're hanging out of the ball like they didn't do in the first quarter.
Fells now, the tailback to the left of Campbell. 3 receivers set.
Raptors have been unable to get pressure on Campbell this drive, and he's making them pay.
Nice dish to Fells in the flat, and he's brought down around the 5 or maybe 6-yard line. And Campbell now looking sharp, Bruce. You mentioned it on this drive.
Yeah, and I think some really good play calls there. They're basically taking what the defense is giving them. Campbell reading his where his guys are going to be open, and he's made some good decisions.
No question about it. We talked about how the defensive line of the Raptors is winning at the line of scrimmage, especially on those run plays, but not so much when Campbell goes back to pass. He has plenty of time to throw. Fells, the tailback, and he's alone back there. We'll see if he gets another touch. Man-to-man coverage, top of your screen. Williams is up there. And Campbell charges into the end zone for a touchdown. Almost untouched there, Bruce. I don't want to get in front of that.
You can't. I mean, he is just a big guy, Jeff Campbell, and a little head of steam there. But that's the first time that he's really, carried the ball all game, had everybody spread out. I thought, honestly, they were going to throw, to the receiver isolated up top, but getting ready for the extra point. Now, not entirely sure whether they're going to kick it or run it, so we'll see.
Campbell was 5 for 5 for 70 yards on that drive.
And you said he started 1 of 6.
1 of
so
6.
That's a big time
He is now
turnaround.
6 for 11.
Well, when you have 1 foot in ice water and 1 foot in boiling water, I mean.
Bruce, I don't think I've ever heard of that one before.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So it looks like they are going for 2. And this is another situation as well. If they don't really have a kicker and how that, is going to affect the game, big time.
Edwards in the backfield. Campbell will go under center. Wouldn't be surprised to see him maybe keep himself yet again after that last run, but you never know.
And delay. See that? I mean, you just can't do that when you're going for 2. I mean, you just can't.
Dead ball, delay a game on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
Well, they'll back him up 5 yards. Ball is now marked at looks like the 8-yard line, I believe. And again, Bruce, still going to go for it again with no kicker. I get what you're saying. I mean, it doesn't make sense. But now you put yourself in a situation where you probably have to throw the football. You're not going to run it from 8 yards out, I don't think.
It certainly affects the play call.
You have Edwards in the backfield. And now bottom of your screen is Williams. You have to look out for him. He's got 2 receptions on this drive. And
Campbell was telling him what to do. Look for that connection, 12-1. He goes the other way.
And that pass is incomplete. So the 2-point conversion attempt falls short.
He's looking for Melville.
Well, we'll take a timeout. 7-6 your score. Raptors still lead. Wolfpack here out of a timeout. They're trying to finish off this pretzel. 7-6, Raptors lead.
Philly Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg doing well here, even in the booth.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fantastic.
No, I mean, just so many things kind of lining up for the fans to keep an eye on. I think special teams across the board going to be a big part of this game. But now with the Wolfpack really being proficient on offense on that last drive, let's see how the Raptors react.
So the Wolfpack will kick this one away. And it's a pretty solid kick. Fielded at the 11-yard line.
He has stood up.
I think somebody might be knocked out cold on the field. That was a big-time hit. Did not look good.
They're trying to pick him up. he can't
needs,
get up.
Yeah, he needs help.
Yeah.
Get down, young man. Get down.
Yeah, can't get up, but seems to be all right. As he said, looked like he's not cold. Kind of reminded me of like of what happened in
We're going to go to
in
break
Heaven
here, Bruce,
Can Wait.
real quick. That's it. As we'll come right back right after this.
Never saw Heaven Can Wait? Oh, my.
Well, Tyler Weaver able to walk off the field under his own power, so hopefully he's okay. And Gooden gets the carry. He's still on his feet, man. It takes about 2 or 3 bodies to get him down, and finally
he's a tough man to bring down.
Yeah, no doubt.
And the running game sputtering a little bit here now for the Raptors.
Weaver upset on the sideline, but is being checked out by the athletic training
staff. Is
that
Maddox in there at quarterback?
Indeed it is. He's back to pass and finds his receiver. It's Default who has his first reception of the game. He's brought down shy of the first down, but again, pretty solid, a solid pickup, I should say. And it'll give the Raptors an opportunity on 3rd down and short to try to keep this drive going. Not too many 3rd downs and short for either side here today. So we'll see if the Raptors can get some positive yards here. Still in their own territory, obviously. Maddox, first drive of the game. Very interesting, Bruce. What do you think about that decision as Maddox will fire over the middle, finds his target momentarily, and it was in and out of the hands of Smythe.
You know, I mean, I think that Reading kind of playing the hot hand.
Very interesting, Bruce. Very interesting. I don't know.
Tanner White, I mean, had a good opening drive. And, look, it depends what, the coach has talked about to the players, beforehand. I'm sure that he's talked to both quarterbacks so that they can be ready, that we're going to do this. And if it changes, hey, great. But obviously something Tanner really didn't do anything to maybe change the strategy. So we got Charlie Maddox in there to see what he can do.
Gooden's the tailback. Maddox in the shotgun. Takes the snap and will hand off. And Gooden met quickly.
He appears to be short.
And I believe indeed he is short.
And that was on a 4th down play, not deep in their own end, but a 4th down play in their own end. Kind of surprised at the play call.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't know.
Just kind of diving in there with 4th down and about 3. And
I mean, I understand it, right? You have your big, powerful back in there, hope that he could get a yard. But with the lead, 7-6, you have the lead. I don't know.
Well, we'll see what happens. Look, it just comes down to Coach Mo's got confidence in his defense, okay? When he's got the opportunity to translate that defensive momentum to the offense by, saying, all right, guys, now you got to do your job.
And as he should, right? They've only given up 6 points so far today, so they've shown progress over the course of the season, but especially here today. Campbell, who's coming off of a very impressive drive, is back at the quarterback position for the Wolfpack, takes a snap, and he'll drop back to pass. He's pressured finally. Burgess, first one in there.
And that's what we talked about in the open. A key to the game was going to be Reading's ability to get all over quarterback Jeff Campbell. We saw in the last drive, Reading wasn't able to get to him, and what he did, he picked him apart. Now he's got pressure.
That was David Burgess applying the pressure again. We've heard his name a lot.
Oh, 2nd and 10.
Just to provide an update on Weaver, looks like he's down there moving around, talking to people, so good to see him okay. Second down, upcoming here for Wolfpack.
Boy, Reading just really stacking the box here.
Motion to the far side. Campbell goes that way, and it's complete.
And, he doesn't have a lot of time, so smart move by the Wolfpack in just running a couple of quick outs. He's got some guys going deep, and then he's got the alternative receivers out in the flat.
Nye has his first reception of the game. And, again, that'll give an opportunity to the Wolfpack to have a third down and manageable. Edwards in the backfield. Haven't seen Bishop as much as we probably expected here in the second quarter.
There's nobody on the slot receiver. Now somebody's coming over.
Campbell has a clean pocket, goes deep down the near sideline, and it's intercepted in the end zone. That's Karif.
Great coverage. And, Campbell was just hoping that his man was going to be able to make the play, but he didn't throw it to the outside shoulder. He threw it to the inside where the defender had the opportunity to pick it off. And, again, that Reading defense, just a great job there with the turnover, now giving it back to the offense to, get some momentum back.
Yeah, without question. I mean, step for step was Karif there with Williams on the near sideline. And Williams, who's been pretty productive offensively so far here today. Not a bad idea, man-for-man coverage, but just got to give credit on the defensive play there.
Well, we talked pregame that despite Wilmington winning last week, staying undefeated, he tossed 3 interceptions, and that was definitely on him, like Bruce mentioned. Underthrown inside, didn't get where he needed to for the receiver to make the play, and Hakeem comes down with the interception, and now Reading's got the ball at their own 20.
Maddox still in at quarterback, and we have
that's going to be offsides.
Well, both sides pointing at each other. That always happens.
Dead ball. Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Good call there, Bruce.
First down.
Charlie Maddox, I'll tell you what, a lot of good memories watching him play high school football at Fleetwood. Him and his brothers covered them playing some 7-on-7. That Maddox family, just a big-time football family here in Berks County.
Shockley brought down hard.
A lot of Berks County alumni on this Reading Raptors team. It's great to see these guys still getting to play a sport that they love and doing it for a hometown team.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a step up for the Raptors, going into the NEAFL.
Deep pass from Maddox, far sideline, and it's tipped and knocked out of bounds.
And see the difference there. Charlie threw that to the outside shoulder of the receiver where only he was going to catch it.
Rudy Smolik on the tip pass, and you got to give him credit. The defensive back starting to play a little bit as we get deeper into the second quarter.
Yeah, 9:39 till halftime.
So that'll bring up a third down for Reading. Try to run, try to deep pass. Let's see what they do here on third. Shockley, the tailback, to the left of Maddox. Maddox steps up. He'll try the near sideline. That's complete.
There is a flag down.
Nice job by the receiver there. Really got the defender off of him there with a good route there.
I believe this is going to be on the Raptors. I think there was two men
Blocking
engaged.
below the waist on the offense. 10-yard penalty.
Wasn't sure if it was going to be a chop block, but
Well, second reception for Roberson today, wiped off the board. It'll back up the Raptors further into their own territory. I would assume that's a 10-yard penalty? Looks like it was only 10 yards. I thought it was going to be 15, but well, now the referee might be going
correct.
15 now.
Yeah, 15 yards.
That's a 15-yard penalty. Well, that's a backbreaker.
Well, now third and long, deep in your own end.
It looks to be about 3rd and 16.
they're going to keep moving back. I think they're going to be facing 3rd and 20.
Wow.
So they went from a
Yeah,
3rd and 5 conversion. The penalty takes it to 3rd and 20.
And the referee spotted the ball, now picks it back up.
Some
And
confusion.
now he's going to move it even. Okay.
All right, so it was a 10-yard. Okay.
No, he's just, I think he's just trying to mark it off here correctly. There he
Got
goes.
it.
All right.
All right, now we're ready to play some football. What are your thoughts so far on Maddox here in this brief action?
He has some energy. He's moving around. He's controlling things. He's active. Seeing him be active right now.
Default has his second reception of the game.
That's got to be a bit short. I mean, Charlie Maddox looks rather Doug Flutie-esque back there because he's not the biggest guy in the world.
He's got some happy feet, but hey, it allows him to get out of pressure and try to make some plays with his legs. And honestly, it goes hand in hand, right? You're able to escape some pressure and fire on the run. That's impressive in itself. And it's not going to be enough for a first down, but it does give the Raptors some breathing room to punt this one away in their own territory.
And more pressure here for Mitch Shaponik.
Well, Coach Mo obviously not happy as he's in discussion with Smythe on the near sideline. Here comes Moore back onto the field.
He's a big body, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a unit.
And a timeout. Yeah, smart move by Reading. You know, you hate to use your timeouts on special teams like this, but.
Well, we'll take a quick timeout and be right back after this. Before we do that, Joe, we got some sponsors we want to take care of.
Yeah, today's game is presented by Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, K-Town Tap House and Barbecue, Valvoline, Darkside Vinyl Graphics, Philadelphia Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker Social Media Marketing.
Fourth down and 5 for the Raptors. They're set to punt this one back to the Wolfpack. And with 8:30 to play in the second quarter, Reading will try to play some defense and keep the lead. That's a dangerous opportunity there. The Wolfpack trying to create havoc.
He's just got to feel that kick.
Goes right past the return man. Aaron Lewis trying to make
And we have another
Something out
flag.
of nothing, and I tell you what,
We've
there's
got
some
someone
big
is just
bodies
getting
going at it.
dumped.
Oh, man.
We've got 2 flags. I believe this is going to be 2 separate penalties.
Maybe they offset.
I think
they're both going to be on Wilmington.
Yeah, block in the back, and I think personal foul.
Chain gang, credit out to those kids on the near sideline working the chains today on their Saturday afternoon. Not playing Fortnite today there, Bruce.
No, they aren't. But I think, boy, I tell you what, a good turn of events here for Reading. They did so well when they had Wilmington backed up in their own end
Sure, definitely.
early on in this game, and it sure looks like these penalties are going to force Wilmington back even further toward their goal line.
Well, right now the ball's marked at the 15-yard line. We assume that's probably going to be backed up a little bit further.
They're going to be closer to their 5, I think, depending on what the 2 calls are. There was certainly someone got absolutely ambushed, knocked over.
I think that's a kind way of putting it.
Going to be a personal foul for sure coming on that. Didn't catch a number on that locomotive, though.
Block in the back on the receiving team. Dead ball, personal foul on the receiving team.
Well,
Number
that's a
6.
good call there, Joe.
Wow. So that's going to put him back at about the 5-yard line.
So Vittorio Goggins is the one that gets hit with the personal foul.
I'm assuming that's half the distance then. Unless they, okay, so the ball's now picked up, not marked yet, so we'll see the refs mark it. But you mentioned it, Bruce, earlier in the game. Hey, listen, the more the Raptors play with their opponent and they're deep in their own territory, really for any team, I don't want to harp on just the Raptors in this game specifically, but you give yourself such a better opportunity to put some points on the board. And even if you don't defensively, you obviously help out your offense by giving them plus field position, we presume.
Well, as I figured, it was going to be inside the 10, and this is where, Reading can just pin, the defensive line can just pin their ears back and get after Jeff Campbell.
Well, it's been a pretty sloppy game, I think we can agree so far from a penalty perspective for both sides.
I think you pretty much expect that for this game.
People going at it.
These guys are going at it. You know what? They're out there having fun.
Wilmington was out on a bus for a long period of time. They're trying to get out some frustration.
Yeah, that's right.
They're going to start at their own 6 after those penalties on the return.
Bishop finally back into the game at the tailback position. Haven't seen him for maybe a drive or two, but
looks like
Campbell now under center.
Looks like they're going to run the football here just off tackle.
Takes a snap, gives to Bishop. He finds a little bit of running room, and he still works his way up past the 15-yard line, hit hard.
He kept those legs churning, though, and got all the way out to the 15-yard line, setting them up for 2nd and short.
Yeah, good mono play there.
Clock continues to run. We're under 8 to play in the second quarter. Shout out to the fans, by the way, who've come out today to support the Raptors in their home opener.
Yeah, I tell you what, really nice crowd, and they're into it. I mean, everybody's into it here.
Yeah, definitely. Same type of formation here on 2nd down and short. You have Bishop in the backfield and a fullback out there as well. Campbell with a big body. Wouldn't be surprised if he sneaks this one over the line of scrimmage and hope for first down. Nope, he'll hand off to Bishop. Try again this time. Not as much running room, but he's brought down at the first down marker. We'll see if they give it to him. I think they will.
Yeah, they will.
And they move the chains.
That is a first down.
So Bishop getting fed back-to-back plays there, Joe.
Yeah, and he ran into Marcus Slocum, number 90 for the Raptors. Big body there over the center. He actually made a nice swim move to set up, stop behind the line, but Bishop was able to make a move. Slocum brought him down, but not enough to force the third, and Wilmington's got a fresh set of downs.
Look for some play action here. I mean, they're going in with this same running formation here. I'd like to see some play action here by Campbell.
Well, again, similar formation. Tad Thomas, man-to-man coverage, body to screen. And I'll tell you what, when you do that every play, it's hard to stop. And Campbell takes himself up the gut.
Was that anybody over the center? I mean, he may have just audibled that to himself there.
Called his own number and picked up 8.
Yeah, I believe it's 8, maybe 9 yards on the play. So 9-yard pickup there for Campbell. And the rushing attack starting to pick things up here on this drive, obviously, for the Wolfpack. Didn't see too much rushing work in the first couple of drives. So both teams trying to smooth things out offensively. Campbell again under center. Same type of formation. He'll hand off. Bishop will try the other side this time. Cuts upfield, and he's brought down on that play.
All they needed was short yardage. That was the desired effect. They got the first down again. Still plenty of time, 6 minutes.
Karan Williams there on the stop.
Not sure how many timeouts they have left.
Under 6 to go until halftime.
But now with running the football, that really brings the play action, in the thought process, I got to believe, for the Wolfpack.
Karan Williams from his safety position. He was one of the co-defensive players of the week when Reading's Game 2 win. He had 5 tackles and an interception.
Somebody said something to the official on the sideline there that he didn't like. I mean, I thought he was going to throw the flag into the sideline there, the Raptors.
Right, Bruce, unsportsmanlike penalty on the Raptors sideline?
I think so.
Well, Coach Mo's obviously not happy on talking to his.
Right. You still have to maintain some level of composure.
What do you think about the visor, by the way? Are you a visor guy back in the day, Bruce?
I was not. I never a visor guy.
Interference on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
All right,
okay, sideline interference. The official must have run into somebody along the sideline.
No warnings in minor league football, Bruce. I know in high school there's always the sideline warning. That's one.
Yeah, but I think the official ran into somebody. I don't think there's a warning then.
Well, regardless, it was a first down. It'll move the Wolfpack 5 yards closer towards midfield. Thomas still, the wide receiver, set on the near sideline, and you have Bishop again still in the backfield.
I formation's been effective.
Raptors showing some pressure. It's a little play action. You mentioned it, Bruce. And this time, Campbell's going to get swallowed up in the backfield. Good sack there. And to be honest with you, it was multiple black jerseys in on the play.
Yogi Wilkerson, number 5, the linebacker, again making first contact. But like Max said, there were a host of Raptors there to bring Campbell down.
Yeah, the defensive line did not go for the fake. So they must have, been listening to what I was saying. There was going to be some play action off of that.
But because of Campbell's size and strength, not much of a loss. Only facing now 2nd and 11 following the sack.
Not a bad play call, just not the best of execution, obviously. They'll bring up a 2nd down.
You just don't see that traditional I formation with 2 wide anymore in football. And that's what Wilmington has given the Raptors a steady diet of. I like it.
I formation yet again. Bishop still in the backfield. So you saw a couple of rushing opportunities for Bishop on this drive, and now the play action. What do they do on this play? We shall see.
Strong right with the tight end.
Play action, and open receiver flying over the middle goes Melville with another reception, still on his feet as he works his way past the 45-yard line. And Campbell, again, after the first drive, maybe 2, is starting to really feel himself from a passing perspective.
Raptors almost looked like they were in a full zone there. Someone did not get into an area. The middle of the field was wide open. Melville came across on the pattern, wide open, big conversion for Wilmington.
So you had the halfback power play action on the previous play. Now the halfback dive play action, and this time it works over the middle. Thomas, bottom of your screen. Melville, top of your screen. And Bishop to the left of Campbell. Campbell back to pass. Here comes the blitz. He steps up, fires, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Thomas.
But that rush made it. I mean, there were guys right in his face. He had to deliver that ball, and not necessarily when he wanted to. So, again, that key that we discussed in the open about the Reading defensive line putting pressure on Jeff Campbell, effective on that play.
Williams was there in coverage. Default number 19 there, shaking up on the play. Bottom of your screen, but I believe he's all right. He'll stay in the game. Can't miss him with the pink glove, so that helps.
Yeah, you can't see his number because his hair hangs down. I mean, kind of like girl basketball player.
100%. Bishop now by himself in the backfield. Campbell will keep it, and he's hogtied from behind and brought down around the logo.
Number 44, Brandon Foss, another Berks
Not
County
to be confused
guy.
with Brandon Faust.
No. The one up here in the booth doing all the hard work. No, this is Brandon Foss, number 44, Berks County guy.
About to suplex the quarterback on that play.
Foss is a graduate of Wyomissing. Got a couple Wyomissing Spartans on the Reading Raptors team.
Good season for them this year as well.
You can say that pretty much every year,
Yeah.
Max. It's one heck of a program here.
Clean pocket for Campbell. He'll go deep down the middle of the field. Dangerous pass. It's incomplete. Pretty good coverage there on the back end by the Raptors.
Overthrew everyone. Alvion Truesdale, number 21, was the closest in the area, but nothing doing on that play.
They'll bring up 4th down. Bruce Badgley will have a halftime interview with one of the players or coaches already down there on the track. How about that in his older years, moving down there quickly?
He's still fleet of foot, that's for sure.
Oh, no doubt about it. One of the best in the business.
Wilmington looking to punt here from their 47, 2:44 left before halftime. Their kicker, Kellen Davis, signaling, waiting. Could be getting a timeout from Wilmington here.
Well, the long snapper's legs got to be getting a little tired there. He's been hunched over in that position for a long period of time. And finally have a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick break. Be right back after this. Max Kretzula, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley on the call.
Get a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance.
Quick timeout. We're back. And that's a low line punt. Picked up and muffed momentarily. Bodies on the turf, and the Wolfpack are signaling like they have possession of the football. Not sure. It looked like the Raptors may have gotten back on it, but we shall see.
Initially, I would say Reading had it, but once those bodies fly in there and people start grabbing at the football, it's going to change hands multiple times. It's going to be tough for the referees to determine whose ball this should be.
Well, if there wasn't already a lot of pushing and shoving going on, there will be even more at this point.
The Raptors
Still no
returner,
signal. Still no signal.
He was down by contact and had the football. A Raptor comes out of the pile with the football. I feel like it would be hard for the officials to say Wilmington ball.
Yeah, Damian Hernandez on special teams able to come away with it. And the Raptors will have possession of the football. Their offense is coming back onto the field. Wolfpack are pleading their case with the officials, but it's not going to work. You have Maddox coming back on the field, number 12 at the quarterback position. So White remains on the sideline.
Not a lot of time here before halftime. See if the Raptors can get something going. They're clinging to a 1-point lead, 7-6, but have not been able to do a lot offensively.
All right, we'll take a quick time out here as the teams kind of gather themselves. Another quick one. We'll be right back after this.
Get Get a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
Back here out of a timeout. Still nothing has happened since we last left you. The Raptors offense still in huddle on the near sideline. The Wolfpack's ready to play some football. Coach Mo out to midfield to talk with a couple of the referees. He's getting his cardio in today, I'll say that.
He has been. Not sure what he was questioning there. Just want to get some clarification. Raptors got the ball, as I think they should have. I think that scrum resulted in a Reading recovery. So I think we're all kosher here in the final 2 minutes of the second quarter. Reading clinging to that 1-point lead, 7-6.
See if they can at least get maybe a field goal attempt to make it a 4-point game as they head to the locker room. Last thing you want to do, to state the obvious, is turn the football over here. So just be secure with it. And, hey, defense is holding up so far, so have to lean on that possibly in the second half.
Yeah, has been the case for Reading offensively throughout this early part of the season. It's been mostly the Gooden and Shockley show with dual quarterbacks once again. White and Maddox both having chances. No one able to grab a hold to the starting position so far. Maybe Maddox will get the drive that does that for him right here before halftime against Wilmington.
Well, situations like this obviously aren't fun for fans when you have a lot of down period. Really, no matter what sport you're watching. There's been a lot of downtime since we've last run a play.
Yeah, we had a very short timeout and now an extended delay, but we're about ready to get started here with Raptors quarterback Maddox is in the shotgun.
Yeah, good into his left, it looks like out there. He'll take the snap and keep it himself as he tries to turn the corner on the far sideline, gets out of bounds, scampers past the 35-yard line, and runs out at the 37. It's a good first play from scrimmage on this drive for the Raptors. Maddox showing off his speed, able to turn the corner and get some positive yards. Not only that, able to get out of bounds and stop the clock as we near halftime.
Yep, 2nd and 7. 1:54 left to play here in the second quarter.
Also pretty solid that any sort of threat of rain has held off. Maddox back to pass on this play. He'll try the near sideline this time, and that's complete.
That's Roberson.
Roberson upended as he crosses midfield.
Little out and up action, perfectly run by Roberson. Maddox is able to find him for the biggest passing play of the day for the Raptors.
Yeah, definitely the best pass in general I've seen from either quarterback today. That was crisp. Clock stops to move the chains, 1:32 and counting now in the second quarter. Good into the right now of Maddox. He takes the snap and back to pass again. He'll flush himself out toward the right side and jog out of bounds, picks up the 2. And did it himself that time. No pressure, just decided to take it and head out of bounds. So it's a 2-yard pickup. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 8.
Reading's gotten something going here right before halftime. Looking to extend their lead. It's already a better showing this week for Reading than last week's shutout in their loss in Game 3.
You see a Punting down there by himself, just working, trying to get an opportunity from a kicking perspective, obviously, maybe a field goal, or he's already had that long extra point today. That was impressive. Maddox in the shotgun. again back to pass. He'll rifle one to the near sideline. That's Pyers. He's hit immediately,
But
brought
gets
down
out of
bounds, and that indeed will stop the clock. That's a pickup of about 6, maybe 7 on the play.
That's caught by number 14, Marquise Spears. Third down, right.
So 3rd and short, about 2 yards to go for the first. Got out of bounds, got the clock stopped. Key Wilmington defender actually helped him on that play, tossed him out of bounds.
Yeah. Roberson, man-to-man coverage, bottom of your screen. Maddox will throw one.
To Pyers again.
Pyers yet again. Marquise Pyers starting to heat up now. Made a play on special teams. Now has back-to-back receptions. Quiet in the first quarter. Different story here in the second.
Well, it took a little bit for those soft pretzels to work through his system.
1,000%.
He's got the energy now.
Clock continues to wind. We're under a minute to go until halftime. Maddox working well on this drive, getting the ball out quickly. He'll try Roberson. Back shoulder throw goes incomplete. And that'll stop the clock with 46 seconds to go.
So far, it looks like a good decision to switch quarterbacks. Maddox has started to heat up. He is now 5 for 7, and also has picked up some with his legs. He's connected on his last. He's 4 for 4 for 37 yards. His last 4 attempts is Maddox, the Raptors quarterback.
2nd down and 10. Yeah, Maddox has been getting the ball out quickly on this drive, to say the least. Sidearm pass is intercepted. And all that wiped away offensively for the Raptors. As that's Ruli Smolik, who honestly had that tip pass earlier on in that second, or in this second quarter, I should say, on the far sideline, and now comes up with an interception. So he's starting to get his fingerprints on this game in a big-time way.
I believe Maddox was looking for Roberson again. He's been a guy that's been a key route runner for the Raptors in the first half. But unfortunately for Maddox, he was not able to get it over the defender. And now Wilmington will take over with about 38 seconds to play before halftime.
Well, it's the second time he's left the pocket before he was even pressured, throwing off balance as he was charging toward the sideline. Obviously not great fundamentals, but went with the sidearm throw and threw it into the danger zone. And now it'll be the Wolfpack and Jeff Campbell to try to lead a charge here with 38 seconds left and a 1-point deficit currently.
Campbell's 8 for 17 today, a little bit better than his season mark of 38% completion percentage-wise. He also has that rushing touchdown. We've been seeing him doing a lot of sneaks, but not here. He's in the shotgun to start this series.
Bishop to his left. Campbell back to pass, and now he'll step up, try to escape, and so far so good, still on his feet, scampering toward the near sideline, and he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 26 seconds exactly. So what could have been bad turned good, and Campbell with a pretty healthy run. Knocked out of bounds around the 42, 43-yard line. Coming up at halftime, our very own Bruce Badgley will be down on the field to interview Coach Mo at the half. Get his thoughts and predictions for what he hopes will be a victory in the Raptors' home opener. Still a lot of football left to be played. We'll see what happens at the end of this second quarter, and obviously whole second half still to come. Bishop to the right of Campbell. Motion. And Campbell will go back to pass yet again. He's pressured, hit hard, and that pass drops incomplete. Campbell was wrecked.
He was wrecked. He's slow to get up. Linemen come back to help him. He was smoked.
Now we have a whistle on the play, and Campbell was absolutely hammered.
Helmet
Timeout,
off.
Wolfpack, helmet off. Couldn't see who that was coming untouched up the middle, but he put a hurting on the Wolfpack quarterback. We'll take a quick timeout, get that information for you on the other side of the break. 21 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Get a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
Most of the Raptors games so far this year have been low scoring, and it's been the same story here today so far. Campbell checked out. He stays in the game. He'll fire one to the far sideline. That's caught. And out of bounds goes Melville with another reception.
Campbell's pass caught by number 17, Ben Melville for a first down.
Melville's starting to rack them up so far in the reception category here this afternoon.
Good decision by Wilmington to take that timeout so that Campbell didn't have to come out of the game. After being shaken up on that hit, he stays in, immediately finds Melville for a big gain.
Well, the ball's now over midfield. Mark it at the 43-yard line of the Raptors to be exact. Campbell in the shotgun. Bishop to his left. Got to look out for Williams, bottom of your screen. He's got man-to-man coverage.
Burgess is upended.
Campbell.
We got a flag.
There is a receiver there in the area. Thought it may have been intentional grounding as Campbell went to escape the pocket. It was Williams, his intended target. You saw the penalty marker there. Did you see something there, Joe?
My guess is it's going to be holding. That's what it looked like. It's thrown in the area. Oh, no, it's going to be blocked below the knees.
Well, that's going to back up. That's a 15-yard penalty, right? That's going to back up.
That's the second call this game.
Interesting.
Well,
so that's going to back up the Wolfpack into their own territory yet again. So that's a huge penalty with only 9 seconds to go until halftime. Probably only time for maybe one or two more plays.
We see the Raptors bringing pressure. Number 8, David Burgess, is the one that is getting through, forcing Campbell out of the pocket.
Well, I don't know what you have drawn up in your playbook with 9 seconds to go in your own territory, but we shall see. Well, that penalty, that penalty really, it obviously hurts your chances of scoring on this drive, but even more so from a coaching perspective, you have two big-time mistakes, I guess is what I'm trying to say, because on one end of the football field, you have Maddox throwing that interception as they're attacking, them being obviously the Raptors on that last possession. And now the Wolfpack looking pretty crisp, and they move it over midfield and they take a 15-yard penalty. So coaching staff has some things to talk about in the locker room.
1st and 25 is not a thing to face with 7 seconds left before halftime.
Yeah, no way.
The Raptors have shown a propensity for being able to make big plays, intercept passes. They already have one today against Campbell. They had 3 just last week. But it looks
Bishop
like Campbell's.
Well, Campbell's got a clean pocket momentarily. That's a pretty ball. It's just in the no man's land and intercepted.
And that is one of the Perrone brothers. That's Arthur.
Perrone there on the the interception there, I believe. Another scrap at the end of the play.
Campbell slow to get up again.
Yeah, he was hit hard.
I don't see any flags. Looks like we've gotten to halftime. Wilmington coaches, I don't think, too happy with the way things ended there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Arthur Perone, honestly, right place, right time. Campbell just trying to heave one up there. Again, it was a clean pocket until it wasn't. I mean, the defensive end's really coming out of nowhere for the Raptors. And teams not headed to their locker room just yet.
Arthur Perone is a 5-time NEAFL All-Star and was named to the All-Decade team. He's a big-time player here in minor league football in the NEAFL, and just got a pick right before halftime.
Well, as we get Coach Mo, who's in discussion now with a couple of referees around 40-yard line, and Bruce Badgley hopefully will grab him for a halftime interview. But what we just saw there to end that first half, I mean, you had a terrible decision by Maddox, who threw the interception as the Raptors were trying to extend their lead. And then you have a big-time penalty, obviously, by the Wolfpack, backing it up into their own zone even further. And then, obviously, the heave there at the end, really, really meaningless, obviously, in retrospect. But if you're a coach of either one of these teams right now, obviously can't be too happy. Offense doesn't look great on either side, and the defense, which started out good, and it still has been when you look at the scoreboard, only 7-6. There's just been some sloppy plays overall.
Turnovers and penalties, those will send you to the L column. Not great. Both coaching staffs got a lot of work to do. I am interested to hear the reasoning for Wilmington to attempt that downfield pass. I feel like you weren't going to luck into a score there, and you were.
Well, we're going to send it down to Bruce Badgley. I believe he has Coach Mo. And
okay, Bruce Badgley down here on the field here with Coach Mo, the Reading Raptors coach. Hard-hitting first half. What did you like that you saw out of your team in the first half?
Well, the intensity, of course. Our first home game, so we got to bring it out, the intensity. I like the effort, and our guys are firing out. We just got to stop the little mistakes right now.
Yeah, that defensive line, I thought, played pretty well in that first half. They really got after Jeff Campbell. And what kind of when those guys disrupt like that, I mean, how does that kind of fuel your whole team?
It gives great momentum because we see going after it, so it gives us some life to continue doing good and keep going after it the whole time. We just got to make sure that we keep up the intensity on that Wolfpack team. They're a very good team, so we got to keep it up.
What do you look for the second half out of your ball club?
We got to fire out. We got to fire. We got to score. This game's too close to my comfort right now. We're home, and we got to get the home crowd a good show. So we got to score when we come out.
Okay, go get them, Coach. All right, see you around.
Appreciate the finger point there, Bruce. You got to like it. That's a professional right there.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows exactly what he's doing. We're going to send you guys now to the Philadelphia Pretzel Factory video. They've been a huge sponsor, obviously, to be able to put broadcasts like this together. Obviously, our first one of the season. The B&B media team was there last week. Real quick before we do that, however.
Yeah, reminder, today's game is presented by Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, K-Town Tap House and Barbecue, Valvoline, Darkside Vinyl Graphics, the Philadelphia Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker, Social Media Marketing.
We'll be right back with another interview here at the halftime, a special guest at this halftime break in our studio. So we will be set for that. The press box, obviously, up here. Studio, press box, relatively same thing, so you never know. Brandon, we will roll the footage for the viewers, and we will be right back after this.
What's going on, everybody? It's Marcus Pyers, wide receiver, tight end for the Reading Raptors. We're here today at the Philly Pretzel Factory with Amy. Amy's the owner and operator of the Philly Pretzel Factory here in Muhlenberg. Today we're doing a promotional style event, trying to get people to come buy some pretzels as well as get some game day tickets. And maybe Amy can kind of explain to us what she means by that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are super excited to be partnering with the Reading Raptors this season to support the team and also support our fans by making it available, or making an opportunity available for you to earn some free tickets. And come to the games because you have a chance to win my shirt here. We will be throwing them into the field at every home game, and this could be yours.
So we're waiting for the little rivet bites, the pretzel bites, to come out of the oven, and we're going to take them over here, and we're going to break them apart, obviously because they stay together in the oven. So I have my little regular gloves on to touch food and whatnot, but I was told I got to put my heat gloves on, so I got them on. We're going to wait for them. pop out, and we're gonna break them apart. All right, here comes my man Daryl. Super, super hot right here. Bang! Puts them out. Let's go break them up. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
And here are your 2 free passes to one of our home games.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. So we play on this upcoming Saturday is our home opener. We're going to be food trucks there. You know, the team's going to be, obviously we're going to be there. Should be a very eventful atmosphere. So hopefully we see you come out.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
2 free tickets to one of your upcoming games. And our friend Mark is here. We'll tell you all about it.
Welcome back. It's halftime here at Don Thomas Stadium. Max Gretzula, Bruce Badgley, who just had the halftime interview, and we have a special guest in the studio, John Saplinski. Appreciate you being here.
Oh, thank you.
Things first.
Pleasure.
We appreciate you joining us here in the halftime report, obviously, up here in the broadcast booth. First question from me, being here, obviously, for viewers who aren't too familiar with your role and what you do as far as the traveling goes and running a league like this, how do you big picture it for them?
How do I big picture for
them? How do you big picture it for them? How do you say, hey, if a viewer comes on, they're like, hey, how do you make it as simple as possible? Because I know there's so much that goes into it behind the scenes, I'm sure.
You know, it's about the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
You know, I got great owners in the league, and they've been around a long time, and, you know, new teams came in, but everyone works together. It makes my life easier.
Sure.
You know, it's a lot that goes into it, from scheduling to getting these guys organized to, you know, just traveling out to these games, and, you know, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of communication.
A lot of communication every day, you know. A lot of these guys, it's an open door league, you know, call me, text me, whatever.
I like it. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, I mean, obviously there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
What's the most challenging part about, you know, putting a league like this together week in, week out?
Keeping teams. You know, I try to preach that, you know, we want owners to come in that are going to be longevity. You want to stay a long time. You know, if you're going to come in, you just want to do it for 1 year. You know, that's not helping this type of football. We want guys with a business vision for the long term, you know, and that's what makes this work well.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, what kind of goes into that as far as teams go, and is it all about just trying to expand them? Or what's the goal if you see this 5 years from now? Like, where do you kind of want to be at, really, as a commissioner? Or where do you want football to be as a whole in this league? Because you have a lot of people, as they get older, they still want to be a part of the game any way they possibly can, and that's kind of what the biggest part and the best thing, at least in my opinion, of what you bring to the table with this league.
Yeah, this is year like 14, 15 right now, so 5 will hit that 20 mark. You know, the economy kind of brought us down a little bit. And these last 2 years to this year, I was regrowing a lot of changes. And, you know, some real diehard teams stuck with it. We kept pushing forward, and we grew this year to 11 teams. We were 12. I like that number, 12 to 15, 16, or even number. But, you know, with the new mindset of owners coming in, I think we can grow more of a business mindset.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what we really need to make it flourish.
I'm sure it's about putting the best product
possible on the field.
And you don't want to have you have a pool as far as the depth goes. You don't have too much going on, but too little. Try to have a happy medium for the fans, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and we got good owners right now, and, you know, they're all doing from the good uniforms to working on good stadiums, a great I mean, this right here was a treat. You know, it's a great game to travel. I could have watched it at home. I wanted a front row seat here. You know, I drove over 2 hours to come here today for this game.
Yeah.
And just the scenery and just coming up here and the atmosphere you guys got going on. And like Bill told me, you know, it's a rebuilding year.
Sure.
And to start this big, rebuilding, big things things ahead of Reading.
Definitely.
Big things.
That's what we hope. Bruce,
Great.
last one for you?
Yeah, and when you talked about long-term planning or whatever like that, I got a chance to talk to Coach Matos before the game.
Yeah, long time.
And that's what I got from him is, there's some planning involved. I talked about the fact of, just looking at the, the quality of the uniforms, the fact that
they're working real hard in Wilmington.
They really
are.
They really are. There's a lot of planning that goes in. Talked about, working on his roster and everything else, and that just kind of fits in what you're talking about. You want owners and franchises
you want to look
that are going to grow
the
this
future.
league.
You want to grow. It's not going anywhere, but we could put a better product out there. And that's the thing right now. A lot of leagues are working together. Owners are understanding that. It's never going to go away, but let's keep it the best that we can.
Is there any plan to maybe getting a couple of league champions together? Take it to the next step. This league against, or is that your playoff structure?
We work with the ECFA, the East Coast Football Association down there. It's Greg Flip runs it. We played last year in Washington D.C. Their champion, the Richmond, Virginia Savages, in D.C. versus the Cumberland County Bullies out of New Jersey, the NEAFL champions, and we did come up the winners last year. We won the first Mafia Bowl, and the Mid-Atlantic we call we called it the Mafia Bowl because it's the Mid-Atlantic Football Association.
A lot of things going on there today with the pushing and shoving.
Yeah. So Bowl 2 is after the season.
So we got to talk to him, man. We got to get Brandon here, man. We got to these big bowl games here, these championship games.
Yeah.
We need to you need to keep us in the loop here because it's a great brand of football, and I think that it brings a little bit more community aspect in there too.
Right.
Families.
I actually I mentioned to Bill as soon as I got here. I said, "You ever thought about hosting an All-Star game?" This is a great facility for this year's All-Star game.
Yeah.
It would be great. Getting all the players to travel up this way if they didn't get to play the Raptors at home.
Not that far.
No, it's under 2 hours for most of the teams. Hour and a half out of Wilmington, hour and a half out of Camden. So everyone's pretty not that far.
I think that's the biggest thing, right? You don't want to have people getting on planes or traveling in crazy bus rides or anything that.
2 hours and under, you're doing good at this level.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of it's families. Watching their family members or whatever like that. Obviously, there's a broadcast involved, but having the ability to, for families to be involved in that, and
we see a lot here. A little bit chilly. It was 20 degrees warmer when I left Jersey.
Yes,
and I got here. And I haven't wore a sweater in a long time.
I remember when I did my first game here last year. It was cold. I think we've done 2 or 3 at least. I've been a part of, and every time it's been cold and there's been no sun. So hopefully that changes next time game we have. We'll see.
But great atmosphere. It brought me back. I used to play up here back in the 90s in the NAFL.
Okay.
So that's kind of where the NEAFL name came from. I was branded in that league as a player, and we used to come up here, play the the Piranhas and other teams up this way, and the 96, 7, 8, and so. A lot of good memories up this way, so it's great to see this happening.
What's the reasoning behind it? Because anybody can just say, hey, I want to start the own league, or my own league, I should say, or I grew up playing football. What was it for you to say, I'm going to try this, and we'll see what happens?
Because I knew I needed it when I was a young guy.
Sure.
The college thing didn't work out. I knew I needed it. I was a player for a long time, and then the bones and the knees, I had to walk away. Mm-hmm. I walked away for the right reasons. It was called, life changed.
Yeah.
And took off 2 years, and I wanted to put a good product out there because I knew I needed it, and I know a lot of young men need it. So my first thing is getting guys in structure, getting guys off the street, getting guys into college if they wanted to go was the first outlook I had on the league. And it grew from there, but we're still trying. A lot of guys, we had 2 guys play professional football this week from the league. Our 2
That's
MVPs,
awesome.
past MVPs played Friday and Saturday night in the Arena Football League.
Wow.
So, we got guys all over.
And there's so many of these satellite leagues, and spring football is now so big. There's a major spring football league. Where do you see the growth of this type of, spring alternative league football going?
Well, the NFL has that, what's it, UFL now?
Yeah,
UFL's doing good.
Combined,
you can never compete with the NFL, so spring is the thing. So, the professionals do it in the spring so that they can get looks for the players to go to the NFL for camp.
Yeah.
Same thing with us. Colleges can look at the films. The Arena League are looking at the films, and then they can hop on now. So spring is big because you're not going next to another product that's already flourished.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's a good thing, spring.
You're giving them the opportunity, too, the players, too. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah,
that's great.
In this area, this would be Pennsylvania has always been an interest area. It's just been hard for us to get into spring.
Sure.
There's always been a flourished summer league.
Right.
And a respect that I have for other leagues and stuff, I never step on toes,
That's
but
great. That's
you
important.
want it, it's got to come to you. you, and the Raptors came.
Yeah.
So now it's an opportunity to possibly grow.
I like it.
It's closer games
it's
for the
hard
Raptors
to not step
too.
on toes if you're a businessman, too.
That's right. No, no.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, hey, we appreciate you, John.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's
Thank
all
you.
right.
Pleasure.
meeting
Awesome.
you.
Oh,
all right?
absolutely. It's my pleasure.
That's John, Bruce. I think my name is Max, right? Yeah,
I think so.
Last time I checked. We'll see you for second half action. Appreciate everybody joining us so far, and we'll have even more interviews as this game continues.
Thanks.
All right. Pleasure.
What's going on, everybody? It's Marcus Pyers, wide receiver, tight end for the Reading Raptors. We're here today at the Philly Pretzel Factory with Amy. Amy's the owner and operator of the Philly Pretzel Factory here in Muhlenberg. Today we're doing a promotional style event, trying to get people to come buy some pretzels as well as get some game day tickets. And maybe Amy can kind of, explain to us what she means by that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are super excited to be partnering with the Reading Raptors this season to support the team and also support our fans by making it available or making an opportunity available for you to earn some free tickets and come to the games because you have a chance to win my shirt here. We will be throwing them into the field at every home game, and this could be yours.
So we're waiting for the little rivet bites, the pretzel bites, to come out of the oven, and we're going to take them over here, and we're going to break them apart, obviously because they stay together in the oven. So I have my little regular gloves on, just touch food and whatnot, but I was told I got to put my heat gloves on, so I got them on. We're going to wait for them to pop out, and we're going to break them apart. All right, here comes my man Daryl, super, super hot right here, bang! Push them out, let's go break them up.
All right, second quarter action starts now. Appreciate everyone joining us throughout the broadcast. It's been a lot of fun. The more content we can bring you guys, obviously, the more entertaining it'll be. And we'll start this second half. Raptors will get possession of the football. The Wolfpack set to kick this one off. Bruce, your first thoughts as you think about really what transpired there. Obviously, a low-scoring game in the first half.
Well, I think that the key, quite honestly, was that turnover by Wilmington, that they were able to force late in the first half there, because Reading was really trying to take control of this game, and now it's anybody's ball game.
Well, this is a pretty healthy return, to say the absolute least, for the Raptors, and it's Armstrong on the return.
Boy, that's a great start. Good field position here.
Joe, you're the stat man there in the first half, so we appreciate you just juggling multiple things. It's very hard to do. I've done it before, and it's not easy. What do you got there stat-wise that, some of the audience will say, hey, man, there's been things night and day offensively or defensively for either side?
So football is led by the quarterback, so I think we got to start there.
Yeah.
Raptors on offense now, and they're going back to Tanner White here, who started the game for the Raptors but gave way to Maddox, who was 5 for 8 for 41 yards in the first half. We saw him put that good drive together, ended with the interception.
Right.
Back to White, see if he can get things going here for the Raptors.
Do you think the game plan here, as we have a timeout already by Wilmington?
Wow, on defense to start the half. Ouch.
Well, we'll take a quick timeout then. I'll be right back after this. Out of a timeout, Shockley gets the carry, finds some running room as he works his way right at midfield. And it's a pretty healthy pickup there as the Raptors trying to get the offense going. in the second half. And I'll tell you what, they have two tailbacks that can do it on the ground at a high level. It's Shockley that time.
Yeah, and really just a good play call there on first down already at midfield here.
Well, they're going to mark it at the 49, but again, another healthy pickup for this Raptors offense. And again, I get it. You know, people say not too many drives have been able to be put together so far, top to bottom, but White and company will try on this play, and it's a blown coverage down the nearest sideline, and scampering into the end zone goes to Fault. It's a Raptors touchdown.
51 yards. I'll tell you, just a great pattern there, and just kind of left the defender in his wake. Tanner White, I'll tell you what, when he saw him so wide open there, he kind of short-armed it there a little bit, going like, oh, I better get this there.
Right. Oh, without a doubt. And I tell you what, as I sat there and harped on the offense of the Raptors trying to get things going, that, I think, Bruce, I don't know, I'll ask you, is that considered putting a drive together top to bottom? I don't know. Some might say, hey, they got lucky with the blown coverage, but nonetheless, the scoreboard says differently. It's 13-6.
Blown coverage, I mean, it's still just a good move by the receiver that, the defender bid on. And, just important that, Reading get off to the good start. I think Coach Mo said that as we talked at halftime. He just wanted his team to come out and, stay focused.
Yeah, what were your biggest takeaways from what he said? He definitely had a lot to say as opponent gets set for the extra point.
Well, he was really pleased with the intensity that the team played the entire first half. Yeah, they're going to make some mistakes, okay? The level of football and the amount of time that these guys have to put into the game, yeah, there's going to be some errors here and there. But the intensity, that's something that should remain a constant, and I think that that's what he was focusing on. The intensity was at a high level.
Well, it's never easy to make quarterback decisions as far as putting one in and taking one out, but it looks like he pressed the right buttons, that is being Coach Mo, putting Tanner White in there on this drive. And I'm not saying Max couldn't have made that play, but sometimes, when you have a drive like the Raptors had at the end of the second quarter and come up empty with the interception, sometimes Tanner White earns the opportunity back indirectly, and that's what we saw right there.
Well, and I think, too, what you're seeing is just that, the overall offensive play call being effective now for Reading. They're running the ball very effectively, and that's what's going to open up the passing game. You saw with Maddox at the end of the first half. Now, with White here with this touchdown pass to start the second half. Not entirely sure what we're waiting on here.
Not sure either.
And why, for an extra point, that they're kicking it from the fifth, there must have been a celebration penalty or something.
Well, we'll take a quick timeout, and we'll let them sort things out. We'll step aside and be right back after this. Punting set for the extra point. It's blocked at the line of scrimmage out of the timeout. And the pitch play is on. It works to perfection. Look out down the near sideline.
This could be 2 points.
Unbelievable. And the Wolfpack go the distance. How about that? Unbelievable. It's Nick Brown, who I tell you what, if he woke up this morning and said, hey, you're going to have a nice pitch play on and go the opposite way and take it the distance, I'm sure he probably would have told you that's insane. But that's just what happened right there.
That's the first time that I've ever seen that happen in person, that on a block kick, the defensive team now in obviously professional football, that's a live ball. It's not live in high school, but it is in college and professional. And Wilmington just picked it up and goes the distance. And, wow, 13-8. Oh, my gosh.
Well, that's an interesting football score, but it'll count as 2 points. It'll be a return by Brown. And healthy pitch there, too. What a great idea that was. A little risky, but why not, right? Take an opportunity to put 2 points on the board.
Well, I think what Coach Mo is talking to the official about is that if the ball goes beyond the line of scrimmage, that it can't be returned. But
did it go at the line of scrimmage? It may have. It's just impossible to see from any angle there.
Well, we couldn't see it, and obviously the officials ruled that that it was behind the line of scrimmage, so it was returnable. Incredible.
Really was.
Have we said during this broadcast that special teams was going to be pretty important in this game?
A few times, right? A few times. And Aponic, who thought it was going to be a nice, solid extra point, now is set to kick this one back to the Wolfpack after they were able to put 2 points on the board. I don't know, Bruce. That's you never know what's going to happen. That's what I like to say.
Exactly right. Joe, is that the first time you've ever seen one of those live? That's the first time I've ever seen it live.
Yeah, well, most of the games I cover are high school.
Yeah,
like you said,
exactly.
That's not happening.
So Aponic kicks back to the Wolfpack.
It's all the way back to the 5 before he brings it out.
Yeah, Terrell on the return spins away from one tackler and can't get away from another. He's brought down just past the 20-yard line.
And that was the touchdown scorer junior to fall to his brother, Matthew, the first one to stand up the Wilmington returner.
Now, where did he play football, Joe?
Muhlenberg High School.
Okay.
Right here in Berks County. Like I said, there are a lot of Berks County alums on this Reading Raptors team. Muhlenberg, Schuylkill Valley, Fleetwood.
You know, and this is
Wilson, Reading.
A real step up for the Raptors, too, to this NEAFL this season, you know. And one of the things we really haven't been focusing on, but with everything, you know, involved in the fact of, you know, playoffs that, you know, if they win the league, that they'll go off and play other leagues in the Mid-Atlantic. I think that's cool stuff.
No question about it. 13 minutes to go here in the third quarter. It's been a slow-paced game so far from the beginning until where we are right now. And the Wolfpack will take possession. I guess there must have been a penalty on the return there because the ball's backed up to the 11-yard line. So it's a 10-yard penalty because it was originally scheduled at the, or marked, I guess is a better way to put it, at the 21-yard line. But nevertheless, that's where Campbell and company will begin at their own 11. Bishop in the backfield. Thomas, top of your screen. Motion man in the slot. And Bishop will get the carry. He'll move past two defenders, and he's tackled as he crossed the 15-yard line.
Yeah, tried to spread out the defense there with the formation. One of the times that they haven't been in that straight eye running the football up the middle. But, you know, obviously running the same play from different formations, I mean, that's just football.
That'll bring up a second down and medium for a Wolfpack offense that's trying to answer with a lightning strike, just like the Raptors did to open this third quarter.
Safety Arthur Perone and defensive end Daxton Washington on a last stop for the Raptors, but gave up 5 yards to Bishop on that running play.
Hines goes in motion. Campbell will hand off to Bishop, and he's brought down pretty quickly.
A loss on the play or no gain? No gain.
Yep, no gain on the play.
Well, this is a key third down. I mean, with Wilmington, if they can hold them here, they've really been less than stellar in the punting game. So this could be a big third down here for the Raptors defense. Let's see if they can hold them.
Yeah, it's the cliche obviously is every third down is big, but this one definitely seems a little bit bigger in this scenario right now because you have a Raptors team that's just started to catch some fire there and build some momentum. It's a 3rd down and 5.
Watch Campbell under center. He has been calling his own name a couple times already tonight.
Ball's marked at the 16-yard line. Campbell will scramble out to the far sideline. Looks like we may have a hold as Melville catches the pass across the 20-yard line, brought down at the 22 to be exact.
No, I don't think that was a called rollout. I think he was just forced out of the pocket. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Let's holding on the offense there, Joe.
You got a hold on the offense, number 78.
And
wow.
Wow, one of the Wolfpack members doesn't agree with that.
Yeah, Nick Brown is not happy with that call at all. But the call is holding, and that will negate the gain by Melville.
And see, with third down, and they didn't, basically with no gain, they're still marching them back. I don't know if I would have taken the penalty there. I would have maybe forced them to kick. But that's a tough one. That's a tough decision.
Yeah, ball's marked back beyond the original line of scrimmage now, so it'll bring up a third down and 12.5, 13.
That's why I'm glad I'm not a head coach there. Have to make that decision. That's a tough one there. Let's see if Coach Moe made the right one.
Well, if you're just joining us, this is football indeed. It's 13-8, so the score might confuse you a little bit, but that's where we stand right now in the third quarter. Campbell in the backfield.
Looks like they're blitzing.
And he takes the snap. We have a flag down already. And that's a dangerous pass. The intended target was Melville, but we'll see what the flag is.
Yeah, not
Weaver,
sure.
and not to cut you off, Bruce, but Weaver, who we saw take a hard hit in that first half, has his helmet off, the hoodie on, and he's currently walking towards the locker room. So I'm expecting his day to be done.
So that decision
illegal formation on the offense.
That's going to be declined.
Yeah, it should be. And you have the chain gang flipping the script to the fourth down marker. And I tell you what, yet again, the Wolfpack will punt from their own end zone.
Third time already this game. And that decision by Coach Moe, Bruce, ended up working out. The Raptors defense held. They're going to gain some yardage here because of accepting that first penalty. I do think there was definitely an argument that could be made that could have been declined earlier, and they could have forced a fourth down play initially. Coach Moe took the penalty, and it worked out for him. So, like Max said, here it comes another Wilmington punt from their end zone.
And here we go. Looks like the Raptors have full rush on.
Here comes a punt. It's up, and it's not a good one. It's going to bounce around the 25-yard line of the Wolfpack and scamper up across the 35, and it's fielded there. And, hey, you know what? Why not pick up an extra couple? So this is danger zone now for the Wolfpack. The Raptors have possession of the football deep, I guess say medium range in the Wolfpack territory. But at this point, based on how this game is played, you could call it pretty deep because the points have been hard to come by for both sides. But you're going to have Tanner White back on the football field after a pretty solid throw, and obviously the score 51 yards on the last possession.
So reminiscent of quarter number one.
Right.
Where we played most of quarter number one in the Wilmington end. Basically, we played the entire third quarter. Well, only 5 minutes here, but still all the possessions have been in the Wilmington end of the field.
Gooden gives me David Montgomery vibes. I don't know what it is, but he's a beast in the backfield there. As White takes the snap, he'll try the far sideline, not too much room to work with, and he runs out of bounds after, I'm going to say no gain on the play.
Yeah, that was a quarterback run the whole way by White. He was flanked in the backfield by Shockley and Gooden, but it was him to the left side where Sean Driggins forced him out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a good job by that Wilmington defense. I mean, that's, as he said, Joe, that was the first design run by a Reading quarterback in the game.
We saw Maddox pull it down at the end of the second half a few times, but that one was going with Tanner White all the way. Couldn't pick anything up, though.
It's going to be a handoff to Gooden. There's a penalty marker down. Gooden turns the corner, still on his feet, makes multiple men miss, and he's brought down inside the 20-yard line.
I think we're going to see a hold.
Nelson slow to get up for the Wolfpack, and we'll have to check the penalty. What do you think, Bruce? Enough of the penalties here tonight?
Yeah, it's been we could be here till tomorrow if this keeps up.
Blocking below the waist.
Oh, again.
On the offense.
Well, apologize there for the audio issues on the football field, but it's going to be a 15-yard penalty that's going to back the Raptors up closer to midfield, and that hurts the drive, to say the least.
Yeah, that's going to make it second down and
let's just say second down and long.
yeah, second and long. I don't think that they fully marked the ball yet because it's
happened
just
multiple
second
times.
and 10.
It's happened multiple times like that tonight.
Tanner White.
Matthew default 0. Junior is 10. His brother. His junior is number 10.
We get visitors here in the broadcast booth there, Bruce.
We love it.
You're a popular man. And that pass is a dangerous one. Pyers just trucked the defender out of bounds.
He played DB there quite well.
Yeah.
Fitchett.
They need to start
Solomon
playing him on
Fitchett.
defense after that play. Wow.
Man, trying to get his name in the stat sheet, but unable to come up with that interception was Fitchett. And the Raptors now, after what started out to be a promising drive, is slowly drifting away. And I tell you what, you go back to that run there by who was that tailback? Gooden, I believe, on that one carry. The holding penalty brings
Yeah.
it. That's just, or blocking below the waist, I should say. That kills a drive. And now, all of a sudden, I tell you what, if you told me about 5 minutes ago that the Raptors would be taking a snap and a huddle behind their 50-yard line, I probably would have told you were crazy based on how it was looking. Again, Raptors got possession of the football at the Wolfpack 30-yard line to start this drive, and they've gone backwards ever since. White takes the snap, pretty clean pocket. He'll try the near sideline. That pass is short and incomplete.
Well, he was
Looking
almost
for Smythe.
triple covered on the outside there.
Yeah, Smythe was the intended target. Yeah, it'll bring up fourth down. It looks like the Raptors will have to punt this one away.
Well, Mitch Apotnik going to have to do another little coffin corner job here. He's done a great job, including a coffin corner kick in the first half there.
Fells, the return man. Apotnik set to punt this one away.
A little confusion out there for the Raptors.
Yeah, got to look out for this play clock.
Where the timeouts are important that you keep
Late
for when you
substitution.
need them.
Yeah, Wilmington already burned
high
one.
snap. Apotnik gets it away. There's a penalty marker down on the field. Fells will let this one bounce. It'll trickle right at him, so we'll pick it up, and he'll be swarmed there by a bunch of Raptors. We'll have to check yet another penalty marker, however.
Yeah, I think Redding was not set when they kicked. And the interesting thing is if it would have got blocked, I mean, the play would have played on. But, yeah, it looked like it was on the offense there. So, going to make him re-kick.
Well, that'll back him up even further. And the ball now officially placed in Raptors territory. So, again, I'll harp on it. A drive that started on the Wolfpack 30 is now back in the Raptors territory.
Boy, in an afternoon that started out fairly nice, it really feels like football weather now, guys, doesn't it?
Oh, without a doubt.
Woo.
Right.
Still 10:24 remaining in quarter number 3.
Deja vu here from early in the first quarter where the Raptors had a penalty. Wilmington made them re-kick. Here we go again. Now maybe Apotnik gets a better kick this time, and you're probably going to be in worse field position. Maybe they want to give the returner a chance to return it, but, I mean, that wasn't a great kick.
Well, that's not a good one either.
No, that's
Apotnik
not.
is going to kick one towards that far sideline.
There were
It bounces
3
up to 40 and
or 4 Wilmington players in the backfield almost blocking the punt once again. Apotnik is not happy, probably both with the protection and his punt.
officially, the ball is marked at the 35-yard line. Joe, we got some sponsors to pay here.
Yeah, today's game is presented by Just Chimneys and Stucco Remediation, TJ's Suds and Shine Mobile Wash, Kemp Disposal Company, Sly Fox Tavern, K-Town Tap House and Barbecue, Valvoline, Darkside Vinyl Graphics, Philadelphia Pretzel Factory of Muhlenberg, and Mike Baker Social Media Marketing.
Yeah, and I guess there's a post-game get-together at Sly Fox
yeah.
after. So
couple of cold
anybody
ones.
who's watching over there in West Reading, I mean.
Bruce is buying, so you guys want to come out? Campbell with a quarterback sneak up the gut. He'll pick up about 4 on the play. I'll tell you what, appreciate you, Joe, for making these reads, by the way. Last year I had a couple of spelling errors, to say the least. Militia, Matillo, same thing. So I lost my job from that standpoint, but appreciate you stepping in.
Hey, it's just like a teleprompter, right? I read what's on the screen.
Good. At least you can read. That helps.
Oh, my.
Well, we don't need any Ron Burgundy mistakes.
No.
We don't want anything like that. Campbell, once again, I wonder if he audible to that or called it, or that was the call, going right up the middle.
Well, here comes some pressure. He gets it out quickly. And it's a slot receiver making the catch on the play and continuing to make men miss. It's Lewis on the reception. And the Raptors show good coverage on that play. A couple of players on both sides shaking up.
Kareem Hakeem
Brown is holding that left elbow.
One of the Raptors in on the tackle.
Matos slow to get back to the huddle as well. No, that's going to bring up a 3rd down. And 7.
Boy, Reading has just been swarming on that defensive line into the Wolfpack backfield here this drive. See if they do some blitzing here at 3rd and long.
Yeah, they showed some pressure, and sometimes they bring it, sometimes they don't, but it's worked well so far. Again, 13-8 your score. Campbell under center. Bishop remains the tailback. And Bishop will get the carry, and he's met immediately. Burgess is just playing some physical football.
And they ran right into the blitz. The Raptors were blitzing from the left side of the defense, and you saw there Wilmington run to the right. Probably not a lot Campbell could do getting out of the play, but Reading sure had that defended well. It is 4th down. It looks like they're going for it.
Well, Bruce, good thing you're not the head coach out there because you sound very confused when you say that.
Well, I mean,
you don't think it's a good idea. You can say it.
4th and 5. 4th and 5.
Well, after the last possession when the Raptors went backwards 25 yards, that's probably what Coach Matos is thinking.
4th and 5 from your own 40. You're down less than a touchdown.
And only halfway through the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
Campbell under center. Crowded line of scrimmage. Campbell back to pass. No penalty marker down. He'll fire over the middle. It's complete. It's Melville. He's got another one.
What do I know?
How is that not a penalty? Running back moving forward before the snap of the ball. Not sure how they got away with that one.
But right on the money with that pass is Campbell. You know, that slant has been open all game long for the Wolfpack. Reading with the blitz, and
that's a big 3rd down conversion, to say the least. The drive continues for the Wolfpack, and Bishop, since we saw him have that miscommunication as far as the fumble, they were able to jump back on it in that first half. He sat for a possession, and then he's been back out there ever since, and he puts on some running moves out to the near sideline, and running moves, that's to say, hey, let me just run around and, long story short, pick up 2 yards.
Yeah, sometimes you got to put your foot in the ground and go forward. And in that particular time, it was pretty much the Reading defense forced them to just go laterally, and that's what kills any running play.
You ever have one of those games in Madden where you hit all different kinds of juke moves like 8 times, and then, long story short, you end up picking up 2 yards? You like empty the bag with a spin move, a cut up, and next thing you know, you're 2nd down and 8, and that's what we have right here.
6 minutes remaining here in quarter number 3. There's that I formation again. They've run effectively out of this.
Motion. And Bishop will get the carry, and he's met immediately in the backfield. Oh, God.
Woo!
Oh, big-time players make big-time plays.
Yeah, that was Washington.
No, that was Noriega Falby.
I mean,
98.
Pick your poison.
98.
I mean, there was 4 black jerseys in the backfield.
98.
Daxon, Washington. And there was a whole host that ended up there. But I believe Falby was the first hit. Washington came up next.
Falby, a returning member this year to this Raptors team. And he's been asked to do a lot in years past. This year, more of a complimentary piece, I should say, and so far so good.
That defense for Reading, those guys just seem to know what everybody is doing out there. I mean, where they're going, and that's a big part of playing effective defenses. Everybody staying in their lane.
Well, you have Edwards and Bishop both in the backfield now. They continue to work this formation, Bruce, and so far I guess you got to expect that we have a delay of game, another penalty marker. But it's worked out well for them so far.
But, yeah, that Reading defense, they really seem to know what everybody is doing out there. And just a testament to the, to the team and the coaches.
What do you think? You messing with Thompson down there, number 68, Bruce?
No way. I mean, there's just.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, I heard his nickname is Tiny.
Tiny? Okay. Hard to imagine.
Yeah, right. Bishop now by himself in the backfield. Williams, bottom of your screen. He's gotten fed a good amount today, as has Melville. This time, Campbell has a clean pocket. He'll fire. It's tipped and incomplete.
I think that went through three sets of defenders' hands. Again, 3rd and long.
He was looking for Dolphin, and it'll bring up a 4th down.
Now they're going to kick. Amazing. They go for it for 4th down at their own 40, and now they're kicking at the 50. Now, I can understand down in distance why you're kicking here, but.
Yeah, this one's obviously 4th down and long.
Armstrong back there deep for Reading has gotten some pretty good returns. Pretty elusive guy. Let's see what he can do this time.
4th down and 16. Davis set to punt this one away. Armstrong back to return.
Looks like Reading's guarding against a fake.
Davis gets the punt away. It's a high arcer.
Fair catch was
Armstrong
called.
will let it bounce, and it'll finally stop at the 23-yard line. So that's where the Raptors will set up shop on their next possession. We'll take a quick break, catch our breath. Be right back after this. Out of a timeout. Gooden gets the carry, tries the left side, nothing to show for it. He'll try the other side, and he's still on his feet. And he's met with an exclamation point, to say the least, and ultimately loses 2 yards on the play. But, hey, give him some credit, not quitting on that end around, I guess. Try the left side, not going to happen. Try the right side. Usually coaches don't want you to do that, Bruce, but Gooden did on that play. He's good enough to turn nothing into something.
Well,
not that time.
But give credit to that Wilmington defense there. They had that one snuffed from the get-go. So 2nd and long here. Reading's been better actually at the run setting up the pass rather than here where they're kind of forced to pass based on down and distance.
Shockley and Gooden. Gooden again gets the carry this time. Or, excuse me, it's Shockley. He'll try the right side, and he picks up about 5 yards on the play. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 7.
The tough part for Reading as well, they've really had a difficult time throwing the ball over the middle. Everything has been to the outside because that Wilmington defense is just clogging everything. Not only running the ball, but even trying to throw it right up the gut.
Yeah, we saw a couple good early runs, but since then it's been a different story. And the out routes have been working pretty well. Obviously, the 1 touchdown pass. And outside of that, it's been a quiet day overall. Smythe, man-to-man coverage, bottom of your screen.
Looks like a run formation here.
He's lined up with Ruley Smolik, who has the interception today for the Wolfpack. And that pass is incomplete. He was looking for Pyers. It was thrown behind him, and he's obviously upset.
But he found that spot there right up the middle there. That would have been a first down had he been able to make the grab there, Joe.
So it's a 3-and-out for the Raptors offense, and they will punt back to Wilmington with 2:36 now, as a couple extra seconds ticked off.
More of the same from the Raptors and the Wolfpack, struggling on offense, some stellar plays defensively, just waiting for one of these teams to break out. We saw a big play from the Raptors to start this second half with the touchdown to default, but not much on that drive at all.
Aponic boots this one away. It's a pretty solid punt, and Fells has the return. He works his way past the 45, and now midfield, still on his feet, dives forward, and officially tackled at the 46-yard line.
Great hustle and coverage there by lineman Stephen Oleksy, number 72. Yeah. Also a Y Missing graduate, resident here in Berks County.
Mr. Intensity, Steve Oleksy. He is as intense a football player as you would ever want. He's a guy you want on your football team, let me tell you.
Yep, all heart there from Oleksy. You saw it on that coverage, getting downfield, ready to make a play. Almost tripped up the returner, but his teammates were there to help him.
Well, Wolfpack now will go to work at the 46-yard line of the Raptors, so clearly good field position to work with here. As Campbell goes back onto the field offensively, as does Bishop. And we'll see if Wilmington can try to answer and put some points on the board. Pretty quiet on both ends since the Tanner White touchdown to begin this third quarter.
Not sure what that action was with the receiver on the outside. Oh, he almost dropped it.
Campbell will load up and fire deep. He's got his man, but he underthrows him. It's Williams.
He was wide open. He had that defender beaten.
Williams limps off the field now. And hopefully he's okay. But again, he was open there, but the ball just not accurate off the hand of Campbell. Again, flushed a little bit because of the miscommunication with Bishop in the backfield.
Yeah, kind of threw his timing off. And, anytime you do that with a quarterback, there's very few that can really reset when they've got guys coming right, breathing down their throat.
Definitely.
Spread formation. Looks like a passing formation. Trips up top.
Play action. Campbell has a clean pocket. He'll step up, fire, and that one is incomplete.
He got blasted.
He did. He got
got blasted by, I believe, Washington there. Wow. Slow to get up.
He is getting absolutely obliterated at times. He's back up, ready to go, ready to sling it again.
Yeah, he is. He's a tough customer. I mean, a grizzled veteran there. Jeff
Melville
Campbell
was his intended target. It's a 3rd down and 10.
That latest incompletion for Campbell drops him to 11 for 25
Well,
on the game.
We talked about it in the opening, 3 interceptions a week ago, but also a 38% completion percentage. Not pretty.
2:28 remaining here in the third quarter.
Fells in the backfield down.
Double wides each side.
Fells will scamper out of the flat, and oh my goodness.
There's Marcus Slocum, one-time Michigan Wolverine.
Unbelievable.
He beat his man, and I think he was kind to Campbell. I think he really could have unloaded, but he just kind of threw him to the ground.
Well, Campbell's going to need a nice bath and maybe a beverage or two tonight. Davis back out on the football field. He'll punt this one away back to Reading.
Well, that was a great momentum switching stand there by the Reading defense.
Keyshawn Hannibal Ray out there, and he will be on the football field to return this one. My apologies, that's default. And that is a terrible kick. The low liner kind of just died there, too. Didn't really take too many bounces.
He almost whiffed on it, and I mean, it was a little bit rough because that Reading rush was right in the kicker's face.
1:16 to play in the third quarter. We'll take a timeout, step aside.
Timeout by the Raptors.
Get a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
Out of a timeout. 1:16 to go here in the third quarter. Two tailbacks in the backfield. And White will hand off. It's Gooden, and not too much to work with there on the first down run.
Yeah, considering how this Reading defense has been playing lights out, that's going to affect the offensive play calling, I think. I think that they'll be conservative with the offensive play call. Don't take any chances.
Look at that Valvoline advertisement on the back of the helmet. It looks pretty cool.
Nifty.
Yeah, something different.
I believe each team has used a timeout already in the second half.
You see that guy down there wearing a T-shirt and shorts?
Yeah,
Did you notice that, Bruce?
Yes, I did. I talk. Actually, that guy is does like social media and that. I know him, and that's all we were doing at halftime, was just grilling him over the fact of you got to be cold, man.
Have to be. I just said something not important. Joe was trying to drop a stat for you. We'll get back to that. Carry up the gut and across the 40-yard line, close to the 45 that time. Pretty solid pickup on the ground.
That's going to be a first down.
And Gooden now starting to stockpile some stats, to say the least, from a rushing standpoint.
We are due for a big-time Gooden breakout run. He's good for a few of those each game. I think the best he had so far tonight was called back. So we'll have to see if getting Gooden's legs going pays dividends here as we get to the end of the third quarter.
End of the third. 13-8 your score. Reading still leads, trying to hang on to a fourth quarter victory on their home turf.
going on, everybody? It's Marcus Pyers, wide receiver, tight end for the Reading Raptors. We're here today at the Philly Pretzel Factory with Amy. Amy's the owner and operator of the Philly Pretzel Factory here in Muhlenberg. Today we're doing a promotional style event, trying to get people to come buy some pretzels as well as get some game day tickets. And maybe Amy can kind of, explain to us what she means by that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are super excited to be partnering with the Reading Raptors this season to support the team and also support our fans by making it available or making an opportunity available for you to earn some free tickets and come to the games because you have a chance to win my shirt here. We will be throwing them into the field at every home game, and this could be yours.
So we're waiting for the little rivet bites, the pretzel bites, to come out of the oven, and we're going to take them over here, and we're going to break them apart, obviously because they stay together in the oven. So I have my little regular gloves on to touch food and whatnot, but I was told I got to put my heat gloves on, so I got them on. We're going to wait for them to pop out, and we're going to break them apart. All right, here comes my man.
Out of a timeout. Coach Mo has 12 minutes, or excuse me, we're not playing basketball. 15 minutes to go here to get a victory.
It's a behind the it's a lateral.
Did they whistle that dead?
I don't think so. No, the official did not whistle it dead. I mean, that was definitely a backwards pass.
It 100% was. That was a live football.
All right, White will try again. Second down in the shotgun this time. He'll hand off. Gooden has some running room, and he maneuvers his way up past midfield, and they're playing football tonight here in Reading.
That's attitude football there.
You get him going, he is hard to stop. I agree. Feed him the ball.
Gooden going to jog off the field on that note. Getting tapped up by Falby.
Yeah, he's fired up. I mean, he came out. He said, why am I coming out here?
Well, good news is Shockley's pretty solid too.
So third down and about 4.
I believe Reading just was forced to take a timeout.
Man, that hurts.
And I don't think they had the personnel where they needed to be, and I believe offensive coordinator Ian Cooper was letting his players know about it.
All right, we'll take a step away, come back, fourth quarter action here in Reading. Out of a timeout. Raptors forced to use one, and it'll be Tanner Voigt still at the quarterback position. Have not seen Maddox since he threw that interception at the end of the second quarter. Shockley, the tailback. Some movement up front, Bruce. And Shockley's going nuts. He's going absolutely nuts on his offensive lineman.
Yeah, that hurts. I mean, from a 3rd and short now to 3rd and 8.
Shockley was probably going to get that football, too, and that's why he's a little upset.
Shockley has a wardrobe malfunction. His jersey's all kinds of torn up.
Yeah. Hey, it shows he played.
Same thing for Gooden. Man, these jerseys are taking a beating.
Blankets are coming out here in the crowd at Don Thomas Stadium as well for good reason.
Yeah, just kudos to all of the fans who showed up here today. I thought that we had a really great crowd, and hope the word will spread about how much fun this Reading Raptors team is to watch.
Yeah, it was Berks County School District Appreciation Night here for the Raptors home opener. Nice crowd on a chilly April night.
White steps up in the pocket, and he's swallowed.
Just didn't have any time there. And look, I mean, sometimes you just have to eat the ball and live to fight another day, rather than to throw it away and or to an interception. So,
Credit Goggins with the tackle and the sack. Aponic will come onto the field and punt back to the Wolfpack.
Wilmington has been really close the last couple times.
Trying to get those paws on the football.
Yeah, very close to blocking a couple of punts.
Aponic gets it away. It's a low liner. It bounces around the 35 and trickles out of bounds. So Fells, who's been on the field a lot at the running back position for Wilmington, doesn't get an opportunity there to return one. And we'll see if he stays on the field for this next possession, at least to start. And it doesn't look like he will. So Campbell, who's been absolutely destroyed by the defensive line over the last handful of possessions for the Raptors, will go back to work. When you're getting hit as much as he has tonight, it's hard to keep focus.
Well, Daxon Washington and Marquise Slocum have just been terrors inside, as well as on the outside in that pass rush. So
John Capobianco's been back there as well. I'd expect to see more of that. I mean, Campbell is the guy. If Wilmington's going to make a comeback here, it's going to start with him.
Edwards gets the carry, and he's eaten alive in the backfield. That's the third or fourth time tonight, Bruce, we've seen Campbell just have a miscommunication with one of his running backs, and it's a dangerous play.
Daxon Washington got his helmet ripped off. He's going to need to come out for a play. Brandon Frost substitutes in for him.
But that defense for Reading, it's just impressive, guys.
7-yard loss on that running play.
Just over 3 minutes now gone by here in the fourth. Second down and 17 for Wilmington.
Let's see if Reading brings any blitzers here.
Campbell back to pass. He'll fire it quickly and complete one on the near side.
Yeah, that was just a deep in there. Perfect timing from Campbell there to Williams. And that time, with only a 4-man rush, Campbell had time in the pocket and big completion, but still third down and about 6.
Wow, we have some passionate ones out here tonight. Big play, Bruce. Big play. What's going to happen? Let's see. Campbell in the shotgun. Fells now into the game on his left side. Play action. He'll fire over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for Williams yet again, not on the same page, and that's been the story of the night so far offensively for this Wilmington team.
Looked like there was only one guy in the pattern. He was quadruple covered. So.
Well, the Raptors only rushed 4, so they had 7.
And I was thinking the same thing. It looked like Reading had more guys out on the field.
They showed a 6-man rush. They walked out some outside linebackers, but they only ended up sending the 4 linemen, and they did eventually get through, forcing Campbell to rush the pass a little bit. But as you said, good coverage by the Raptors, and looking like it's going to be a Wilmington punt.
Yes, indeed. And Damian Hernandez will be the return man. Davis will punt for Wilmington. You see the breath coming out of the mouths of these players. Chilly down there on the field, as it is up here in the broadcast booth. And 4th down and 6 means the Wolfpack will punt.
Oh, great kick.
It's a good punt indeed. Haven't seen too many of those tonight for either side, but this one, very pretty.
I tell you what, Special teams, special teams, special teams. I mean, all night long, how pivotal they have been involved in this contest. And I think just a very interesting note as well is the fact that, Wilmington, without a kicker, if they score a touchdown, they have to go for 2. And there's no chance at field goal. So that's going to affect their play calling if they get, down in deep.
100%. The ball's marked at the 20-yard line of Reading as White and company begin this possession. Well, 10:30 to play in the fourth. Let's see how much time Reading can knock off this clock, try to suffocate the Wolfpack on their home field.
Oh, Wolfpack really packing the box now. They're expecting Reading to run.
Both tailbacks in the game as well. This time it's Shockley. He'll turn the corner and maybe pick up 1, 2. We'll go with 2, I believe. And it'll bring up a second down and 2. Yes.
Yeah, Reading's just going to have to do some early down play action passing, I think, to try and make that defense just at least respect the deep ball.
Roberson checks into the game, and how about that? Maddox at the quarterback position in as well. So probably expecting a pass on this second down situation. Again, 2nd and 8. Ball marked at the 22-yard line of Reading. White out of the game now at the quarterback position. Gooden out of the game as well. It's Shockley at the running back spot and Maddox, who takes the snap, gets rid of it quickly, and it's a completion of Pyers on the right side of the football field.
So good completion there, high percentage, and look, we've got rotating quarterbacks.
Tanner White back in for the Raptors. So
it's got to be a confidence booster for Maddox, though. His last pass before that obviously wasn't a good one, and from a confidence perspective, got to like to see Maddox get back on the field and help the team out.
And that's got to play in the minds of the defense, too, when these quarterbacks start shuffling in and out on who is or isn't going to throw a pass.
And another feed. This time it's Shockley on the left side. He's got some running room. Turns the corner past the 45-yard line and brought down just shy of the 50. Shockley feeling himself. First down, Reading.
He just did a great job of getting just outside, putting his foot in the ground and turning straight upfield.
However, there is a flag on the play at about the 43. We'll see what the call is.
I think it's on the defense.
Got a hold on the offense.
Oh, my. And they had already flipped the down marker and everything else. Oh, my gosh.
Well, it should be from the spot. If it wasn't back at the line of scrimmage, although the flag was thrown at the 43.
And that ball is marked at the 33.
33, okay.
Yeah, 10 yards. Yeah, I got
and it should be third down. I mean, the down marker shows first, but it should be third. It's not. I can't believe it's 1st and 8.
No, that wouldn't make too
That
much
is not
sense.
right.
That's not right. Yeah, 3rd down and 8. It's 3rd down and 8. Maddox, as Pyers goes in motion to the top of your screen, he'll hand off, and that's a pretty healthy run, but just shy of the first down goes Gooden.
Oh.
And another penalty marker. Another penalty marker. 2 of them fly.
I'm not sure who they're going to call it on because there was some shoving and a lot of jawing, and I don't know who did it second because the guy who did it first isn't the one that the penalty's on.
Could be offsetting.
Could be. And it's certainly not first down.
Well, here's the ruling.
78-44.
Unsportsmanlike on Reading.
That's it.
Tell me the number. Tell me the number.
All right, so offsetting unsportsmanlikes.
Nice, Joe. You called that. Coach Mello just losing his mind down there.
But it can't be first down.
No, I don't
I thought
think
it was second down when they ran the last play. So it should be third if those occurred after the play was dead.
Whoever's running the down marker forgot that he's got to switch the down marker after every down.
Well, right now, let's just see what happens on this play, and then we'll discuss. It's Maddox still in the game at the quarterback spot. Takes a snap. Pretty clean pocket. He does have those happy feet, though, doesn't he? Fires a sidearm pass. It's fired. It's complete.
Catch.
The down doesn't matter. It's a first down.
Exactly right. Moot point. It's going to be a first down.
Task failed successfully. Love it.
I guess, Joe, you're going to have to start keeping the down and distance, too, now.
I'm trying my best.
Oh.
That was good for 12 yards from Maddox. He has that one interception, but he's now 7 for 10. He's getting completions, which is something that the Raptors weren't getting in the first 3 games. Getting him here tonight from Maddox. Big touchdown pass from White.
Maddox will hand off. And with the head of steam goes Gooden past the 50-yard line and works his way into enemy territory.
Well, that makes life easy when you get 8 yards on first down. I'll tell you. Really opens up the playbook.
The offensive coordinator is happy to face a 2nd and 2 versus the 2nd 8, 2nd 9 we've been seeing a lot tonight.
And the best part is the clock keeps rolling.
Indeed. Ball's marked at the 48-yard line. Raptors started this drive at the 10:30 mark of the fourth quarter. Under 7 to go now. Gooden fed again. He'll turn the right side and work his way up for a gain of about 3. Should be good enough for a first down, and it is.
Fresh set of downs there, Joe.
Gooden is getting fed so far on this drive, and for obvious reasons. I mean, we talked about in the opening how good he is and how hard he runs. But when you feed him back-to-back plays and he gets 10 yards combined and moves the chains this late in the ballgame, you can't ask for much more.
Well, and again, going back to what we thought the keys to the game were, the Reading defensive line and Reading's ability to run the football. And right now, Reading is relying on that running game here to maybe lock this one away.
Here comes some pressure. I think we have some
offsides.
Movement. It is indeed an offside on the Wolfpack.
Dead ball. Offsides on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Tanner White back into the game now at the quarterback spot. So far, the mixing and matching at the quarterback position for Coach Mo has worked out well tonight.
Yeah, and that's tough. I mean, in how you're and now it was by series. Now it's like play by play. I mean, multiple quarterback substitutions in a series of downs.
Well, ball now after the offside penalty is marked at the 40-yard line of the Wolfpack. Under 6 to play here in the fourth quarter. White in the shotgun takes a snap, fakes the handoff, goes deep down the left sideline, and it is incomplete. Oh. That would have been one heck of a catch. And it was Roberson, the intended target.
Wilmington defender was locked man-on-man with Roberson the whole way. Never even got his head around. Roberson saw it and tried to react and make a one-handed grab, trying to pin it against the Wilmington player's back. Couldn't get it done. Interesting to take a shot, stop the clock. It was only 1st and 5, so they've got a few more plays left to pick up the first down. But remember, as we tick down closer to 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, both teams have used timeouts this half. Reading is left with just 1. Wilmington has 2.
Yeah, I like that call as well. Ian Cooper, the offensive coordinator, kudos on that one. Going for it there.
I'm just happy somebody's keeping track of the timeouts up here. Appreciate it. Absolute legend. Much needed. Shockley, fed, nothing. That's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 4, Bruce. And, we talk about free throws in basketball and how important they are. 3rd downs late in games, short yardage are equally as important.
Almost. You got to believe that this is 2-down territory for Reading.
Well, clock continues to wind. 5:23, 5:22, and counting in the 4th quarter. White still in at quarterback. Gooden out there as well, as is Shockley. 2 monsters at the running back position. Most people who watch football love those big-time running backs, and for good reason. I mean, it's fun to watch.
If Coach Mo and the Raptors are going to make this 2-down territory, look for the running backs, but
screen passes
quick
on
screen.
Roberson. Tackled almost immediately. Somebody lost a helmet. And we do have a penalty marker.
I mean, you just can't do that if you're Wilmington. You just can't, fly off the handle and then give the opponent a 1st down.
I believe it was Sean Driggins who's called for the penalty, ripping off the helmet of Stephen Alexi, who Alexi now has to come out of the game as a result.
Well, he's trying not to. He's like, no one's going to see me. No one's going to see me. I'm going to get back out there. And so far, he has. He's just maneuvering his way into the huddle like nothing happened. Look, the refs are in discussion. They got their backs turned. They're not even looking.
At minimum, that's going to burn 2.5 minutes off the clock by Reading getting a 1st down.
Number 24.
Oh, you mentioned it. Driggins. Not a smart play, to say the least. Obviously, late stages of the 4th quarter. And I tell you what, Bruce, you got to like what you're seeing here from a clock management perspective.
I can't even imagine that Reading is going to put the ball in the air. This is just going to be grinded out. You know what I'm going to – this is what we like about football. This is mano-a-mano. You know we're going to run the football. You try and stop us. That's where we're at in this game right now.
I'll tell you what, Reading and their fans are starting to feel it now here tonight. The 15-yard penalty is going to move the football deep in the Wilmington territory. And the ball is officially now marked at the 23-yard line.
Kudos to these fans. I'll tell you what. I mean, just great job showing up tonight. Great job supporting this team. And the interesting thing is Maddox is in there at quarterback, I believe.
He is. Flanked by Gooden. Double twin set for the Raptors.
Gooden. Not much to work
kind
with.
Of a draw.
Only good thing about that play is that the clock's going to continue to wind. Another penalty marker down on the field. Everybody is just beating the you-know-what out of each other now at this point.
Looks like unsportsmanlike again, possibly.
It looks like the Reading players are just baiting the Wolfpack players to
undisciplined. Is this on Driggins again?
I don't know.
I think it is.
That's got to be an ejection.
That would be his, I believe, 3rd unsportsmanlike or personal foul.
How many do you get?
Well, I think you get ejected after 2 personal fouls.
That's what I thought too, but
so maybe they weren't. The last one was unsportsmanlike.
Right, exactly.
Did anyone see what happened? I know it was against on Pyers. Pyers is the one that drew the penalty, but I did not see what happened.
There wasn't anything physical. It obviously something was said of not too good a nature, because the official just pulled his flag out and just slammed it into the ground there. So look who's coming in the game there, Slocum.
Wow, monster.
Personal foul on the defense, number 24.
Some people are going nuts here in the crowd.
I'm guessing they're going to run on the right side. I think White's back in there now.
He is back at quarterback, flanked by their big-time running backs in Gooden and Shockley. Lively crowd here at Don Thomas Stadium in Exeter. Raptors home opener.
Oh, Goody gets the carry, and he's met by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gray jerseys.
Wilmington took their frustrations out on Gooden on that play.
Well, another positive thing about the play, though, however, is the clock continues to wind. Man, you mentioned it earlier, Joe. Man, that jersey is destroyed.
Both the running backs' jerseys are messed up, Gooden and Shockley. So anyone know a good tailor?
Well, all I know, guys, is that Reading really needs another first down if they want to salt this game away. I mean, we've got 2nd and 20. There's 3:50 remaining. They can't run this game out without getting a first down. So,
two tailbacks again in the backfield with White. Motion man is Pyers. White.
Oh, it's intercepted! Oh, my God!
And just like that, this game's been flipped up on its head.
Attempt at a middle screen is picked off.
And it's Sean Driggins, who just picked up multiple unsportsmanlike conduct penalties
and
in
personal
this fourth
fouls.
quarter. And personal fouls as well.
And Wilmington is now set up at their own 45. Wow.
Unbelievable sequence of events.
Oh, you're exactly right. Like I said, guys, I mean, Reading needed a first down to salt this one away. Now they're back on their heels. Now the defense back out there.
And you have Shockley now, who is going nuts on the sideline in just disgust. Him and it looks like Gooden as well down there, just not on the same page, and now emotions are getting the best of players.
The defense has got to pick this team up.
Well, here you go. Fells now in the backfield. He's the tailback. Campbell back with a chance to win this football game, late stages of the fourth quarter.
Watch the slot receiver across
Campbell
the middle.
Back to pass, steps up, fires. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage. And Campbell again, he is just getting walloped.
Slocum, Falby, Capobianco. Man, they have really been pounding Campbell here tonight.
Unbelievable.
We have a stoppage here.
It's going to bring up a second down.
Is there a flag anywhere? I don't see a flag.
See a flag. The pass was swatted at the line of scrimmage, so it's going to be a second down and 10.
Oh, ineligible
downfield. That's going to be. It should be a 5-yard penalty. Oh, it's declined for the second down opportunity. Okay, that makes sense.
I didn't even see the flag. So
I didn't even see. Yeah. So trips up top.
3:23 to go in the fourth. Campbell trying to direct traffic in the backfield. Nobody back there with him. And
3-by-2 formation for Wilmington.
Well, this is where the defense has got to get after
Campbell
him.
gets rid of it quickly, and he finds his target. It's Nye, only his second reception of the game.
It's a good read by Campbell. He saw Wilkerson sneak up. He didn't time it perfect.
Looks like we have an injured Wolfpack member on the field.
Hit the hot route.
We'll take an injury timeout, step aside, be right back after this. Back here at Don Thomas Stadium. 13-8 your score, 3:09 to play in the fourth quarter. Joe Mays Bruce Badgley alongside of me. My name is Max Gretzel. It's been a fun one here tonight, to say the least, and the Raptors home opener. Never fun when you got to play your first 3 games away from your home stadium. But with a 2-1 record, possibly a 3-1 record moving forward, still a lot to be decided here, however, for the Raptors.
And that was the center that went down.
Well, who's going to snap the ball now is the question, right? I mean, that's the last thing you need.
Well, the backup center, I mean, so just keep that in mind here if this isn't a direct snap. .309 left. Joe, I mean, any rough guess on timeouts left for Wilmington?
I believe Wilmington still has 2. They used 1 right at the beginning of the third quarter, but I don't believe has used any since. Reading has used 2, so they own just 1.
All right, here we go. 3rd down and 1. Campbell is going to line up under center with an empty backfield, so we probably expect a QB draw here. QB sneak is probably a better way to put it, but the line of scrimmage is packed for obvious reasons. 3rd and short. Campbell takes the snap, and indeed it's a QB sneak, and he has indeed gotten the first down. So that'll move the chains. And another penalty marker. Unbelievable. So it was pretty obvious that Campbell was going to get that QB sneak opportunity. It's successful. And with 3:02 to play now in the 4th, we have not only a penalty marker, it looks like one of the Wolfpack members is shaken up after the play. Looks like Matos.
Oh, on Reading. Oh, my. That's going to put the ball down to the 30-yard line.
And my apologies. That was Nick Brown shaking up. He's staying out on the football field, however, number 9. Not great if you're a Raptors fan right now, Bruce. I mean, everything looked to be going perfectly fine. And you say to yourself, hey, Gooden's moving the football well on the ground.
All they needed was a first down.
Shockley's been moving the ball well on the ground. And then all of a sudden, a passing play by White, and it's oh, my goodness.
And that's the tough part for a team is to now recover. I mean, to build that intensity back up when you think you've got this game pretty much salted away.
Empty backfield, Campbell in the shotgun. Wide receiver spread across both sides of the field. Under 3 to play in the 4th. Campbell will fire, and that one goes incomplete.
Good job by that defensive line getting in his face.
Campbell continues to feel pressure, play in and play out.
The New Jersey Militia 35 over the Central Jersey Vikings 6. The Cumberland County Bullies losing to the Chester City Tide 4-7. The New Jersey unit.
It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
2:46 remaining. All of a sudden, high drama here at Don Thomas Stadium.
Indeed. None of the fans have left, however. Everybody who's been here has been here. No plans on leaving anytime soon with 2:46 to go in a toss-up game currently.
They've been making their presence felt.
Fells, the tailback to the left. Campbell.
Here comes the blitz.
Swallowed up in the backfield.
Falby Washington again.
Huge loss there. Just way too many men coming after Campbell to block. Clock running. 3rd down, and what do we got there, Max? 22?
Oh, man. Math wasn't my strong suit. I don't know. Let me count.
Well, this is more geometry.
That wasn't good either. It does look like it's 3rd down and looks like 3rd down and 20.
3rd and 20 from the Raptors 40.
This is the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning, wow.
Step aside, quick break. 13-8 is the score.
Get a full-service oil change in about 15 minutes at Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Choose from a wide range of maintenance services, including a free 18-point maintenance check. Visit us online to find a Valvoline Instant Oil Change near you.
Out of a timeout, it's starting to get cold, Bruce. I'm really feeling it, my feet especially.
Well,
really cold.
I'll tell you what, it's been a fantastic game so far. We've had a lot of ebbs and flows, and now it really comes down to these last two plays here for Wilmington.
2 minutes to go in the fourth. 13-8. The only real haymaker that's been thrown so far here in this game is that 51-yard touchdown pass by Tanner White. Outside of that, it's been a grudge match.
Besides the actual punches being thrown on.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. 3rd down and 20. 3rd down and 20. Campbell takes the snap. He's back to throw. He's going to fire deep down the near sideline. He's got a man, but he underthrows him, and it is, I believe, intercepted.
No, the receiver.
Oh.
Who does he call it?
The D-back comes away with the football.
What? I don't know.
He's shocked. Truesdale was there on the interception. I thought he came away with the ball, but they're going to call a completion.
I think it was
simultaneous catch
Mm-hmm.
will go to the offense, just like a tie in baseball goes to the runner.
The official didn't make a clear signal. That's what all the confusion is about here. But now, oh my gosh, a minute 51. It's 1st and goal from the 4.
Yeah, ball's marked at the 4-yard line. Clock continues to wind.
That was just a great job by Campbell. I mean, he was under heavy pressure and delivered the ball down there to, and his receiver made the play.
Campbell in the shotgun falls again to his left. 133, 132, 131 here in the 4th. 1st and goal from the 4. Motion man, bottom of your screen. Campbell back to pass. And that's going to drop incomplete. Truesdale in there on the coverage.
But again, heavy pressure. I mean, Campbell stood in there as long as he could. He got blasted as soon as he released the football. I think he had to release it earlier than what he wanted to.
Hines was his intended target, number 0. That'll bring up a 2nd down and goal from the 4. Clock stops at 1:22.
These fans are into it again.
Melville, top of the screen once we come wide. As man-to-man coverage. Fells in the backfield. Again, motion man, bottom of your screen. It's Hines. Pitch play to Fells. Turns the corner. And he's in for the touchdown. Wilmington takes the lead with 1:17 to go in the 4th.
The Reading defense sold out to force him back inside, and when they forced him back inside, there was nobody there. Fails in for the touchdown. Very interesting now. It's 14-13. They're going to go for 2. Boy, how big was that extra point for the 2 points? I mean, that's
the way this game was going. You kind of figured that would come back and be very meaningful. In the end.
Incredible. That returned blocked extra point.
Man, I just love sports. They're awesome.
Incredible. But again, unfortunately, turnovers playing a big part in this. That interception that Reading threw, giving Wilmington the opportunity here late, and they've capitalized.
Huge 2-point play here.
Campbell back to pass, scrambles to his right, throws, and it goes incomplete. Yeah, he was looking for Goggins there on the near side of the end zone. So score remains 14-13 visitors.
Well, just for, I did get an opportunity to see Mitch Apotnik warm up. And if we're looking at field goal, ball's got to get He was hitting them from the 30-yard line. So basically, they got to get the ball to about the 25 for a Puntnik to have an opportunity at a field goal.
Well, remember, their first PAT was kicked from about that area.
That's right. We saw him make it, sure.
Well, I will say to you guys, just to start, when you talk about how the offenses have really struggled today, to reference a basketball, I guess, standpoint, talk about when you're struggling in a half-court setting, you get out in transition and try to run. This is an opportunity on this play, on the kickoff. Maybe you try to get as many yards as you can before things get really set 11 on 11, you know what I mean, from the line of scrimmage. So
maybe you try a trick play on the kickoff.
Something, right?
A little reverse or something like that.
Give yourself
action.
an opportunity.
Because this is the first time tonight they really have two guys back.
Right.
So maybe they're going to do a little reverse action.
Never
Who
know.
knows?
Got to get creative here with only 1:16 to play. Reading trying to win their home opener here in 2025.
Try to send Wilmington to their first loss. Reading's trying to get their third win.
A lot on the play here in the last minute plus. Davis to kick off. Pretty solid kick. And here come the Raptors. That's a decent return across the 35-yard line. And that's Solomon. So
well, let's see who Reading puts out there at quarterback.
Both Maddox and White over by
and it's
offensive
going to be
coordinator.
Maddox. Here comes Maddox out there, yeah.
I still think they're going play by play.
Yeah. That's got to be tough.
So Maddox will get the crack first, at least, at trying to lead a game-winning drive here in the fourth. Defense of the Raptors on the sideline looks disgusted. A couple of helmets getting tossed as if the game's already over.
I really wish we had access to a replay on that pass that set up the Wilmington touchdown. It would be interesting to see. That was wild. It was hard. Their backs were to us, so we couldn't really see it, but ruled a reception for the Wolfpack.
First and 10 from the 35. Maddox escaping. Sling pass. It's incomplete.
Good coverage by that Wilmington defense there, and a great rush. Flushed Maddox from the pocket. But quite honestly, I think with Maddox, you want him to roll out. He's not the tallest of guys. You want to have designed rollout plays so that he can survey the field. Otherwise, he's standing around and he's got all these guys in front of him.
Like
he can't
Baker
see.
Mayfield type of player?
I don't know. No, I think he's a little shorter than Baker Mayfield. But in a relative term, yes.
Second and 10. Ball officially marked at the 36-yard line. Not too much of a difference there. Maybe 35 and a half. Maddox still in at the quarterback position. Good into his left. Maddox back to pass. Steps up, fires, it's batted down at the line of
And that's
scrimmage.
why you got to get him out of the pocket. You have to have designed rollouts. I mean, if you're the offensive coordinator, you really almost can't run the same type of drop back pass that you would run with Maddox that you would use with White.
I think Ian Cooper, who is the offensive coordinator, is going to have to answer some questions after this game is over. I mean, having the ball in White's hands, who threw the interception, trying to get the first down, obviously, but can't turn the football over when you're up on your home field in the fourth quarter. And not only that, obviously Wolfpack, give them credit, they went down and scored, but now everything is under a microscope when you're trying to come back from a deficit late in the ball game, and every play is going to get criticized. 1:02 to go, to be exact. Maddox still in the backfield, third down and 10. Takes the snap, scrambles to his left. He's got some time. He winds up, fires, and it's over the head of Pyers and incomplete. And that'll bring up a fourth down and long. One last chance for the Raptors.
Yeah, and you can see that was a designed rollout. Maybe you want to do some kind of trick play here. Maybe a hook and lateral.
Same formation. Good and out there. Maddox in the shotgun, takes the snap. This time he'll try the right side. Turns the corner. Heaves one, and it's complete on the far sideline.
He dropped
and
it.
He dropped it.
Oh.
And the Wolfpack faithful on that far sideline celebrate.
Wow.
Good pass there on the far sideline.
I thought he was about to pull it down and run.
He was looking for Roberson.
Yeah, dead ball, and that's not going to change the possession there. We got an unsportsmanlike flag.
I think it was Driggins again.
Yeah, that's not going to change the possession there. Charlie did a great job. I mean, what he did is he faked the run, and then that pump fake, the defender bid on that, and he threw a nice ball there. Unfortunately, he couldn't hang on to it going out of bounds. That would have been a first down.
Well, here's your unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's post possession, so it's
close plays though. Give credit to Maddox for giving his receiver an opportunity and Roberson to go up and make a play. He was open, but when he got hammered out of bounds, it just knocked the ball loose and it was incomplete.
Yeah, tough from this angle on that one, but my oh my, I mean, a fourth quarter of. Or a game of just very pivotal plays. First one was the blocked extra point conversion, defensive 2-point conversion in quarter number 3. And then in the fourth quarter, obviously the interception late in the game that gave the ball back to Wilmington, and then the big completion down, simultaneous possession at the 5-yard line. With a little over a minute to go, and Wilmington punches it in, and right now up a point, certainly in the driver's seat with 50.6 seconds remaining, Joe.
And Reading can only call one timeout, so this game is effectively over unless there's a botched snap on the first play.
You can see they got somebody out back at the 25-yard line as a safety there.
Give you a quick recap as Campbell goes out there to take a knee. I mean, it was 7-6 at halftime. Raptors led 13-8 late stages of the fourth quarter, turned the football over and couldn't get a stop. And that should all about do it. Maybe one more knee by Campbell. And it's going to be a hard pill to swallow tonight for the Raptors when they put their heads on the pillow. After leading this game throughout in their home opener, and they're going to drop one here tonight, they're going to fall to 3-2 on the season. Or 2-2 on the season, I believe. That's my apologies. 2-2, and it'll be 3-0. That's what I meant to say for Wilmington.
Raptors
who remains undefeated.
Started with wins over Tri-County Panthers and Tri-County Owls. Lost last week at Chester City Tide before dropping tonight's game against Wilmington. Reading will fall to 2-2, and Wilmington will be 3-0. Stay perfect.
Reading will be back here on April 19th to take on the Militia.
But first, they'll take a trip to play New Jersey Unit next Saturday, April 12th.
And that does it. Wow.
What a game. Wilmington celebrates. Still undefeated in 2025. They come on the road, and they come back from a deficit, not only in the first half, but obviously late in the fourth quarter. And those are the biggest ones, honestly. As a fan, as a player, as a coach, it's the stuff you remember like that. When you're up big, well, really up in general, Joe. It doesn't even have to be big, but when you're up on your home field and turn the football, I mean, it really went from bad to worse.
It's a tough way to end, for sure.
Well, we'll keep things here. We'll do a quick wrap-up for you guys. Obviously, a lot to discuss. And try to get organized here and get a camera going for you guys in the booth. Gotta love this a show of respect there at halftime, or at the end of the game, I should say.
Yeah, I really liked at the end of the game there, despite everybody there.
The handshake, you gotta love the handshake. It's important, obviously, and that's a sign of respect. A lot of pushing and shoving tonight, but when all said and done, the respect shown at the final horn. So welcome into the booth, everyone. Max Gretzula, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley with us tonight. Obviously, a lot to dissect. first things first, very long game, a lot of penalties. So we appreciate you guys who are still here tuning in for the first time, or if you're welcome back. Obviously, we would love to have you here. But let's see, a lot to dissect here. I don't want to keep everybody too long because we could stay here all night and talk about how crazy of a game that was. You never know when you're going to show up to the field, what you're going to see. But, Bruce, we'll start with you. You kind of touched on it towards the end of the broadcast. I mean, you went from a turnover to not being able to get a stop on defense, and then obviously not being able to come back there. A little bit of a tougher situation with Maddox, kind of a lot thrown on his plate there to try to lead a charge. But nevertheless, it's a disappointing loss if you're a Reading fan.
Disappointing loss. I mean, in the fans' minds,
Sure.
Reading had the game won. And I touched on the fact that Reading still needed, a first down. You were a first down away from salting away a victory, and instead you turn the ball over, and then the other team takes advantage. Look, it's still a long season. I mean, on the positive thing, it's still a long season for Reading. But as you touched on, the fact that there's going to be a lot of head scratching, there's going to be, unfortunately, a lot of second guessing. But I tell you what, I think on a positive note there, that Reading defense showed up. I mean, with obviously a couple of long passes there. There were really two drives that Wilmington did anything at all, and basically the difference in the game was a Wilmington blocked extra point that was returned by the defense for 2 points.
Yes.
And,
unbelievable. That's unbelievable.
That is, I've never really seen that, become such a factor in determining any football game. First, it's the first time I ever saw one live. And the second is it's been a long time if I've ever seen a game where a defensive score on a blocked extra point was really the determining factor in a football game.
Absolutely. Coaches hate three things. They hate big plays, they hate penalties, and they hate turnovers. And we saw all those bring down the Raptors here tonight. They had big plays of their own. The default touchdown in the second half, big. Gave Reading, forget where I'm at here, give Reading the lead, but the play that you just mentioned ended up being the deciding factor. Those 2 points cost the Raptors in the end. Penalties were both sides, a very sloppy game overall. Trying to figure out what's going on with the Raptors quarterback. We know what we've gotten with Wilmington and Campbell. He was 14 of 31 tonight. He made a play in the end when he needed to. He put the ball up. His receiver came down with it, and it led to the game-winning touchdown. So, things to clean up with Coach Mo, Coach Cooper on offense. Find a cohesive unit and an identity, what they want to do. We know they got the horses at running back. Shockley and Gooden looked great at times tonight, but in the end not able to get it done because of those three things: big plays, turnovers, and penalties.
What do you do from a quarterback perspective? Do you pick one or the other? Do you keep riding the hot hand back and forth? The old saying is when you have two quarterbacks, you really have no quarterback, right? So at the end of the day, I don't know if it's beneficial for Coach Mo to pick one and just ride with it or keep going back and forth. Not saying that ultimately was the reason why they lost this game tonight, but you had a turnover there by Matt. I mean, there's so many things you can pinpoint. Maddox at the end of the second quarter when they were charging, going in possibly for at least a field goal, and they turned the football over. So I don't even know where you go from there.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, there was so much positive that the Reading Raptors, did here tonight that was erased, unfortunately by a couple of tough turnovers and, the block kick there. But, as I said, that is a really hard decision that the coaching staff has got to make out there, because at least in the first half, it was, all right, here's Tanner's series and here's Charlie's series. Here's Tanner's series, Charlie's series. Now, in the second half, it's Tanner's play, Charlie's play. Tanner's play, Tanner's play. Oh, we're going to throw the football. Let's put in Charlie. And then it was Tanner who threw the interception. So, really difficult.
I think, here, because maybe it was the first time it happened this year, play by play with the quarterbacks might work, but in the long run, that's never going to work, especially if you're always throwing one in there to run the ball and the other to pass the ball. Defenses will just be able to key. They're going to have to figure out what they want to do. Like Max said, the old saying is, if you have two, you don't have one. They need to find one. They need to find out their identity. You need to know which one they want it to be. Unfortunately, for the coaching to decide, both guys had big plays, good plays,
Sure, yeah,
and then
definitely.
also had
Nobody
key
really
turnovers.
stepped up tonight.
Right,
No.
and this game didn't help separate either of them. So
Do you look back on, as my last question before I know we're going to wrap up, but do you look back, and again, hindsight is 20/20, the decision with White to throw the pass on the third down, they need the first down. Do you run it in that situation, looking back, or are you fine with throwing it?
See,
there?
I thought it was the right play call. I mean, the right play call. I mean, it was second and long. They were, they were down in the end. Typically, a screen pass like that is a high percentage throw. I can't fault the call from Coach Cooper, because I think it was the right call. It just was poorly executed, unfortunately.
yeah, it was only the wrong play because it didn't work. But I agree with Bruce there. I don't hate the call. Maybe at other times, do I think they should have kept pounding the rock with Shockley or Gooden?
Yeah.
That play call in particular, I didn't hate. I thought
They
it was an
needed
okay
the first
play
down
call.
to win the game.
Like you said, it wasn't properly executed. It's not like Shockley and Gooden had some good moments, but they also were getting hit behind the line at times too. And if you just get really conservative in that moment and try to pick up the I think they needed 3 yards, try to get it on the ground and you get stuffed, I think people are going to say, well, you weren't creative enough. You didn't do enough. He thought he had a good play with a middle screen. It wasn't executed the way it needed to be.
Yeah, and credit Wilmington for making the play.
Yeah, no, without doubt.
Give Wilmington credit for making the play in that situation. That literally turned the game around for the third time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
back and forth. I mean, each team really had had many opportunities to gain control of it. In fact, Reading really dominated, with the exception of the final drive after that interception. Reading dominated the second half, with the exception of one drive at the end of the game. And so how do you fault that? That's why when you talked about they're going to have a tough time putting their head down on the pillow tonight, they should, because they really dominated the second half of this game.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to be back here in 2 weeks for the next one.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
You got it. Not
should
meant
be.
to be tonight for Reading, but we will be back April 19th right here, Don Thomas Stadium, 5 p.m. kickoff. Max Kratzula, Joe Mays, Bruce Badgley, hope to be back with you for that. And with that being said, we are going to say so long tonight from Reading, Pennsylvania. 13-14, 14-13, however you want to say it. Regardless, Reading steps out on the wrong side of things here tonight.